I'll take the intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the official podcast. I'd be lying to you if I said I remember what number episode it is, but it's a very special episode nonetheless. Today on the show, we have someone who's been on the show before, a very special guest, someone who I've streamed games with, I've watched funny events with, I've laughed, I've cried with, I've been very, very good friends with, and it may or may not be their birthday today. That's right, it's Jackson Clark.
Yes!
Thanks,
you,
Jackson.
Thanks for
Jackson,
having me
is it your
back.
birthday? I heard
on my birthday, too.
Is it or is it not your birthday?
You know what? Why not? Every day feels like your birthday when you're on the official podcast, isn't
man.
it, guys?
Working with Jackson.
It's all our birthday.
Hang on,
It's
Muda,
all
could you
about
not interrupt them
birthdays.
talking about Jackson?
Absolutely.
What the fuck, Ruda?
Yeah, what the fuck, Muda? Jackson, thank you for so much for coming on the show. And also, Mudahar is here, I guess. Hey, man.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I'm filling in, I guess.
Hello.
What did you get me for my fucking
Kaya's here
birthday,
too.
Ruda?
Kaya, oh man, I love when you're on the show, Kaya.
Hey, Kai, it's your birthday too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finally 31.
Woo! Good shit, man.
Oh.
I didn't think you'd make it with all that alcohol, but you did it.
The tobacco balances it out. I don't know how it works, but here I am.
Are you canceling out your booze? That's not the right way to do it. Come on.
Hey, last week we had a guest that told me that if I do meth, it cancels out the alcohol, so I've been using that trick.
Oh, wait, for
Pro
real?
tip.
No fucking way. I gotta remember that when I'm in Vegas next week. Just got a little bit of meth.
The guest we had last week knew so much about drugs, it was really enlightening.
Yeah,
I don't know how
drugs
much
and
of it was
evil
actually
cults
true.
and all sorts
I
of
don't know
shit.
how much of it was true, but he talked a lot about drugs. I feel like I've got a lot of knowledge now on how to do things the drug way. Which leads me to my first topic, Muda. Have you ever taken drugs?
Me? A few times in my younger life, yeah. I've done weed, I've done some rails. Coke back in the day. That was about the extent of it, though.
Yeah,
That's
nothing
as far
hard.
as I went.
Nothing
Yeah,
hard
no,
like
you know
heroin.
when the weird creepy midget that came up to me and it's like, you stick this needle up your ass and you'll feel different. That's when I cut it off, you know. I was
yeah,
like,
that's
maybe
the line. You found it.
yeah. I was like, this is the good sweet. I'm already having a good time. I don't need the fentanyl or whatever you're sticking into me. And when I heard about Jenkum, I was like, I'm out of it, man. I'm not doing fermented shit. That's not happening.
Yeah, I've never
You
even
don't know
heard of it.
Jenkum?
You haven't heard of
Jenkum?
Jenkum, Kaya?
Oh my
I
god.
haven't
I
either.
don't keep up
The
with the
guest didn't
drugs.
say
I don't
anything
keep
about
up with
it.
drug releases.
No. Jenkum's been around since the early internet days. It was is it a rumor or was it actually confirmed at some point that people did it, Muda? Do you
Is this
remember?
another operating system that
it's-
you guys were talking about
Hold on.
before?
Let me look up the WebMD article of Jenkum real quick.
Pull up the Know Your Meme page on Jenkum just so we can verify.
Know your Yeah, Jenkum, also known
Jenkum.
as butt hash, is a purported street drug made from fermented human excrement that is supposed to induce hallucinations when inhaled. Rumors about the drug began circulating after the Tootsie forum member, Pickwick, posted several photos of himself allegedly experimenting the substance. There's also a little Snopes article. I don't know if I can't even access it.
Wait, you said it's the fumes produced by human excrement?
Yeah, fermented
Yeah.
human excrement, yes.
So you take
So it's
a jar.
literally getting high off your own farts. This
Yes.
is a joke.
Yeah, no, this is real. No, this is real. You take a jar, you take a shit in it, and you piss in it, and you put it in the sun, and you tie it up real good, and you let it just ferment, and then you huff the fumes that come out, and you get all lightheaded and dizzy and fucking go nuts.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's
you smell like
shit fumes.
shit.
Of course you get lightheaded. That's not getting
That's
high.
not a high. That's not a high.
Hey, look, don't blame me. Don't blame the people who take Jenkum, okay? Ask them.
Well, so on Wikipedia it says it's a purported inhalant. Now, of course, it has it's the first time on Wikipedia I've ever seen it where it said failed verification. So I don't think there's a fact check on it. We might actually be the first people to fact check Jenkum. If you want to go down that road, of course. And I'm totally down.
So
But
Sounds like a
apparently they got it.
schoolyard myth.
So apparently it's very
It sounds like a
popular.
psyops.
It's apparently popular in Africa in the 90s. And according to their Zambia's Directory of Sport, Youth, and Child Development said, initially they used to get it from the sewer, but now they make it anywhere. They say it keeps them warm and makes them fearless. I want to be fearless
Of course,
after
you can make
smelling
it
some
anywhere.
shit.
It's shit. All you need is shit. You don't need like a fucking Mexican super lab to synthesize this fucking thing.
I don't know.
What if you
maybe
maybe
ordered
you
it from like
might.
Cuba?
What if you have to find the best fucking colons imaginable to manufacture the greatest shit for it, right? Like, that's another thing. It might be a genetic thing.
Yeah, maybe the gamer girls
yeah.
should do that.
Maybe
Get
some
on
I feel like-
Philadelphia and shit in a jar.
maybe some Hollywood celebrities are only as big as they are because their shit is just so like attractive and intoxicating.
I think
I
that's
feel like if
literally a South
Amaranth's
Park
gonna sell,
episode.
if Amaranth's gonna sell jars, she should just sell like Amaranth branded Jenkem jars. That sounds so well too, like Jenkum jars. She could sell that shit. People would literally buy that shit, quite literally, for way more than she was selling her original.
Yeah, when
fart
you said
jars.
Jenkem, I definitely wasn't expecting jars of shit. Jenkem is like such a wholesome word. Well, it sounds wholesome to me, but now it doesn't.
What?
Now it sounds like shit. Well, it's like Jenkems. Like that's like a charming name. It sounds like a
kinda
candy.
charming.
Yeah, if you were a kid in the 90s and you were like 7 years old and you heard, "Hey, you want some Jenkum?" You'd be like, "Yeah,
I'd be like,
fuck,
fuck
yeah.
yeah, give me that shit.
Yeah,
sounds
it sounds like
awesome.
some. Yeah, it just sounds like candy or whatever. But yeah, reality is far different.
So is it just like Zambian for stinky shits? What does it mean? Does it have like
No,
a-
dude, it's just literally you ferment that and you get high off the allegedly you get high off the fume
No,
in the
this
desert.
okay. So this is absolutely like a 4chan psyops thing where they're just trying to get people to smell their own shit.
I think it is because if it wasn't, oh wait, I found something called Scottsdale Recovery Center. Okay, so this seems
People are
kind of
going to
legit.
rehab for Jenkems.
I'm hooked on
They
shit,
can't
doctor. It's ruining me and my family.
Yeah,
Can't stop.
there's an article.
shit.
There's an article at the Banyan Treatment Center of Philadelphia
God.
about what Jenkum is and what's the high like.
Dude, it
But what is the
literally is
highlight?
it's like an actual. Well, you hallucinate, I guess. I feel like your high is just like God coming down and telling you, bro, you're actually getting high off shit. You are really, really down low in life.
Look, if
fucking
someone's at the
stupid.
point of their life where they have to huff shit to get some pleasure, I say let them. Like, that's fine.
Do you
No
feel like
judgment.
the homeless people that are doing crack cocaine are probably like fucking poverty shaming the people that are doing shit instead?
Do you think it's
It's
a
like,
double?
what would you have to get high off?
Do you think it's a double-edged sword? Like the crack cocaine hobos are like, oh god, that guy does Jenkum, and then the Jenkum hobos are like, ew, crack, that's dangerous. I'll stick with
Yeah, they're
Jenkum.
like morally against.
That's bad for you.
There's no
that's
thoughts in the
bad for you.
Jenkems people's head. They're just face down in their own shit. They don't have thoughts anymore.
They're a fucking dung eater in real life.
Well, I'm just insane how like
loathsome dog eater, yeah.
like maybe it must have been a really good psyop, guys, because like an entire recovery center fell for it. They were like, we don't want to take the chance that huffing shit is fake. We're just gonna make an entire treatment plan for y'all. If it no, Snopes said it's fake, but I don't know. I
Well,
don't know
wait.
if
So
I can-
that's what a successful psyops is,
So
though,
then it
right?
could be
It's something
real.
that starts as fake, but then it becomes real. Like we've tricked enough people to start smelling their own shit, so then it actually becomes a thing that they need rehab for. That's successful.
I mean, they want it. It's kind of like the people that were like microwave their iPhones because they thought they would charge the fucking battery on it.
Who profits from the Jenkum industry? Because like crack cocaine,
Laxative
there's a
owners.
bunch of documents or conspiracies or people talking about what have you that it's like the government is making money off of this or this police force or whatever. Who is making money off of flooding our streets with Jenkum?
The fucking real shitty drug dealer is what's making money. That's for sure.
Big jar. You'll need a lot of jars.
yeah,
I feel
big
like if this
jar
was real,
companies.
they
Big
would do
jar.
it in-
Mason sees triple their profits every year Jenkum spikes.
Have you ever seen the big sewer industry get away with pushing Jenkum onto our children? Fucked up. Maybe we
Yeah.
need to bring the PSYOP back, and so when we go onto like Facebook and just like go onto the conservative Facebook boards, they can then push it on like, look at what these libtards are doing, pushing Jenkum onto us, and then they just push it all on Facebook for a week. We need to do a Facebook op. Like it has. That's the real success. Like if you
No,
can
no,
make
no,
a
no.
trend on it.
You'll have a much easier time on TikTok, bro. Just convince a bunch of teenagers to do Jenkems, like Tide Pods.
You know what? I'm surprised actually now you say it, it's never happened. Like these motherfuckers kick in doors, steal urinals, but they haven't huffed shit? What?
Wait, people are stealing urinals on TikTok?
Well,
Yeah,
they
isn't
used
that the
to- they
devious
used to
lick or
steal-
something?
Yeah, the devious
Oh,
lick. They used
devious
to steal
licks,
them.
aka blatant thievery turned into a meme.
No, if you TikTok it, it's legal.
Oh, right, my
idiot.
mistake. No, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
Read
you're
the
right.
bylaws.
No, you're
Wasn't
right.
there a trend also where like the girls were making, they were trying to make slime or something, but apparently they were making napalm in their homes?
Oh, no.
I don't know if that's a myth.
How do you accidentally make napalm?
Don't you burn
What's the
plastic
ingredients?
to? Isn't one of the ingredients burned plastic in napalm melted?
I just found the article here, actually. So, March 9, 2022. This is very fucking fresh, by the way. Holy crap, guy. Was TikToker Teresa360 had to remove her post after she made a napalm-like substance. So basically, she was making a fucking life hack video. And what is she? Yeah, she made like slime or something. And I'm looking at it, so apparently the bottle she's like pumping, like she's cutting into, is liquid latex.
Isn't this a literal war crime? She's committing a war crime on TikTok?
I assume so. Like, she didn't find out until the comments said in all caps. So the comments in all caps said, girl, that is napalm. Also, that is napalm. Girl, be careful and please take this down.
Oh my god!
It took until that for her to realize
She's gonna be
maybe
trying
I
the
shouldn't
hog.
post this.
That's like the classic ammonia and bleach cleaner prank.
Yeah,
I think-
that's a good
I
one.
guess, but how come there's like so many kids on TikTok who can apparently identify napalm?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good question. Who's watching it? It's like, I've built napalm before. You shouldn't be doing that. It's very dangerous. I only reserve it for...
I've seen that before in Vietnam. You don't want to be playing with that.
Girl, are you building napalm without grade 3 chemical sealant gloves? Girl, how do you not know that?
I like to think there's like a criminal somewhere in the world looking at the TikTok, judging her real harshly. This bitch is making napalm without the proper detonators. What is wrong with her?
They're watching it from that
That's a
chemical
Unabomber,
lab,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, that's a related question I wanted to bring to the show this week. So recently I was checking out some like 0 viewer Twitch channels. Just
To feel better about yourself or
Yes,
something?
to fluff my ego, to feel better. I watch them and I just go, you fucking suck. You're so bad. No. To watch, to see like what people just stream without a care in the world. And there's people like streaming just TV shows, just full episodes of TV shows back to back to back. I've seen a few clips of streamers running into people streaming themselves fucking. They just leave the stream on or just put it on and they just like, hey, I'm playing God of War. And you click it open. It's just a dude pounding his girlfriend just on camera. So if you
wait, you can actually find that?
oh yeah, if you go on Twitch,
wow, I think I did. I just found some.
yeah,
What?
yeah. So I
You're sure
wanted to
you're
know.
not like redirecting to Pornhub or some shit?
No.
just
No. This is Twitch, dude.
It's
I mean,
just
what's the
people-
difference anymore?
It's just people who go
true.
on Twitch and they just stream whatever the fuck they want, and they have like no viewers, so no one reports them. So it's just there. And then the only thing that ever happens is like eventually they get an audience of 20 people who find it, and then they get taken down. But I just wanted to know if you guys found any
Snitches.
if you guys found
fuck?
any wacky shit that's been just streaming on the internet. Because the worst one I found was a clip of a streamer. He just found this clip or this couple that had like 4 viewers, and he just opened it up and he's just getting a blowjob right in front of the camera. Just on Twitch.
I've never been blessed to see that. What the fuck? I
That's
definitely
totally an
heard like
accident.
weird
So good.
sex, but I've heard
See,
like
if-
weird sex sounds, but it's always been masked by a gameplay feed, so I could never tell,
That's what Mixer should have done to sabotage fucking Twitch. A bunch of false flag bots that just stream porn on Twitch. And then you go to the New York Times like, look at Twitch. The porn they're streaming to little children. Someone wants
Could
to
you
do
imagine?
something.
That's ultimate corporate warfare, though. Fuck me if Microsoft had done that.
God,
They should have. I would have.
absolutely fucking should have. Twitch still needs a porn category, man. There's enough people in fucking
know why they don't.
bikinis at swimming pools and doing squats in front of the camera that you just need a porn category.
They're a corporation. They should be focused on money and revenue, right?
Yeah.
And it's a massive industry. Just fucking open up like Twitch After Dark or something and let
Yeah.
people go wild there.
Yeah.
Make
I
a
mean, like, there's
fuckload of
clearly
money.
a market for it, right? Like, people clearly want to fucking jack off
No.
and look at a
Well,
video game
you
every
brought
once
up
in a while.
you brought up Amaranth earlier. What was it? She made
Yeah.
$2 million in her first year on or her first month on OnlyFans, whereas on Twitch she made that in about a year.
Well, yeah,
You're
no,
that bad
yeah.
Barbie girl, though? She made like
Yeah, I
apparently that bad Barbie girl, or whatever, like the Cash Me Outside. How about that chick? She made like $50 million on OnlyFans in a year, allegedly. I don't believe it. I don't believe
Wasn't she
it at
underage?
all.
Well,
No,
she
she
has
turned
apparently
18.
bought.
She turned 18.
Oh, okay.
She has apparently bought like a $6 million home.
Oh my
And
God.
also about the underage thing, she launched her OnlyFans on her 18th birthday, with photos I presume were taken before midnight. So, God bless America, I guess.
No, she waited till after 12:01 p.m.
Yeah,
She
it was
waited
at
till
her
after
birthday
the
party.
minute she was born. Yeah, they all
And then
came over.
she
It's like, I
started the
gave
flash
you
photography.
cake. Do you think she like just served them cake and it's like, all right, now time to take photos for me. It's 5 p.m. Let's go.
yeah. Now it's not creepy. Let's go.
I found it
signs
so
up for
weird
this
how
shit?
there were so many people who were like, oh my god, she turned 18. Fuck yeah, let's go OnlyFans. I'm like, it's a little like, man, maybe there should be like a watch list.
Yeah, that means
just
you've
for
been
guys.
lusting after her before she was 18, and that shit happens
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time with
People are
celebrities
the-
as well.
Do you
There's, like,
remember
two
when
types
Mary Kate and Ashley everyone had that big like they're 18 now fucking party? Do you remember
and
that
like
shit?
Hermione as well.
I
yeah.
do,
Yeah, Hermione.
exactly.
They do it to a lot of them. They do it to that.
iCarly,
called?
Miranda
Stranger
Cosgrove.
Yeah,
Things
Miranda
or-
Cosgrove was another one. Yeah.
The iCarly cast, the Stranger Things girl. I forget her name.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, it's like two types too. It's like the
Drake was a
kind
part
the
of that
weirdos
watch
who
along
make-
party. Yeah.
Whenever a child actress, specifically the girls, whenever they have their own subreddit, avoid it. It's the creepiest fucking place on earth because it's these
yeah.
dudes lusting after her, counting down the. They also have these like. There's a division in the fan base too in those subreddits because you have half of them going, "Oh, only 57 days until she's legal, you guys," and then the other half going,
Fucking
"Ew, she's
gross thing to say.
18, lame."
What?
Yeah, they're like, oh no, yeah, no. I mean, hey, in that crowd, it's like child beauty pageants, dude. In Texas, you can't tell me there's not like a fucking cross reference of like 60% pedophiles in that audience. Come on now, like who the fuck would go to
yeah.
a child beauty pageant? Let's
Dude,
be honest, no one.
There are a lot of hobbies like online and in person that are just fine. Like they're weird or they you know they're different, but they're fine. You can do a lot of weird stuff. You could be a furry or like a fucking robosexual or one of those people who thinks they're a fictional character in real life. Like all that is fine.
Robosexual.
All that is fine. Yeah, robosexuals, people who like want to have sex with and marry robots. You know, like
Yeah, that fucking the Japanese dude who just married like Hatsune Miku or
yeah,
something.
the guy,
Oh,
the
yeah,
fiction
Hatsune.
sexual who
Yeah.
married Hatsune Miku. Yeah. People like that. Like
Didn't they
all
just
of
get
that is
divorced?
all of that is fine. But if you're an advocate or fan of child beauty pageants, you're a bad person. And
I think you're
there's
a
something
bad-
wrong
all
with
the
you.
child-
Furthermore, I think you're a
pageants,
bad
the-
parent as well if you're like
Yeah, those are the
letting your child do
grossest
that.
I don't
fucking
think-
things I've ever seen.
You have to keep in mind the child beauty pageants. There's like two types that like it. First of all, is the mothers, who are all Munchausen by proxy psychos, and then there's the jury.
they're
The
living
jury is the
vicariously through
suspicious
their
ones.
daughters. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think the moms specifically are like into the sexual aspect. I think they just fucking like the attention because they're munchies. But the jury,
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
kind
They're
of a
living
dude-
through their daughters.
They're the
living through the
vicarious
attention their
parents,
daughters
yeah.
get. Yeah.
Yeah. I think South
And
It's
Park.
also a weird competitive thing for them too.
I think South Park fucking nailed it when they did their episode on it. How like all the people involved in it are scummy, but then it just always smash cuts to the judges' table, and they're all like grabbing their dicks, like furiously trying not to masturbate during the show.
You have to get certified for that shit. Did you know that, Mutahar? To be a child beauty pageant judge. They have websites. We talked
Why'd you
about this
single
on the show
Mutahar
before.
out?
We call that a pedophile, dude.
No, because the boys and I, we've talked about this on the show before. I was wondering if you ever like heard of this.
I didn't
but
know
they
you had to
have
get
whole
certified.
websites.
I didn't know there was a certification process behind being a creep.
You
but
literally
hey,
have to
fuck.
like be licensed
You have to be on the
ogle
sex
children.
offender registry first before you're allowed to.
No, that's like your resume. That's like, you know when they tell you have to have like 5 years experience on this job before you apply? That's the
Yeah,
experience.
checking out
for
naked
that.
children. Like, whoa.
It's like you need to be on the registry before. Wait, so this just came out today. Fictosexual Japanese man who married a hologram can no longer talk to her.
Yeah. So they did divorce, right? Or is that
No,
Wait,
no,
did
no.
she
He
get, like,
can't talk to
restraining
her.
orders?
He's treating her right. So apparently, a fictosexual man who married her in 2018. So I think it's the same guy. Akihiko Kondo had grabbed headlines by marrying blah, blah, blah. After 4 years of their marriage, he can no longer interact with her because a startup that provided the voice service terminated it in 2020.
Oh no, they killed her.
Oh no!
Wow, they killed his fucking wife.
This
This is the Japanese John Wick, dude.
I think he's doing okay though. He said, "My love for Miku hasn't changed."
Do you know how much
Aw.
you spent on the? Do you know how much you spent on the wedding ceremony though?
How much?
$17,600 on a formal ceremony
Good
in Tokyo
Lord.
Hall.
damn,
This is
so-
why I don't feel. This is why I don't feel guilty about buying dumb shit every once in a while. You know, I'm like, hey, at least I'm not spending $17,000 on a marriage. But you know, my thing is like, listen, he's not hurting anybody, right? Like,
Yeah, no, absolutely
whatever.
not. Now,
Marry.
if he was going to like a child beauty
He's hurting
pageant with
himself.
her, then it would be hurtful.
Yeah. I think this is a lot. I mean, it's a fictional character. It's
fucking
like the
sad.
lowly
This is
debate
like-
shit.
Yeah, but you didn't think they were gonna shut down the servers? It's like getting married to Titanfall. How stupid are you? At least like spin up your home server and host this bitch on your own server at home.
No,
Can you
That's
imagine the man who married Titanfall every day? He's just curse you, EA. How dare you? You
his
took
wife's
my
been dead
love
for like
from
10
me.
years. Yeah, it's like his wife's been dead for like 10 years now. I think he's gotta move
And
on.
then they bring out his wife too, and they're like, she's
Yeah.
better than ever before.
What do you do in
Yeah.
that situation? Do you stay with Titanfall 1 or do you upgrade?
You mean you cheat on your wife to go with the wow,
you gotta
that
keep them
is-
separate. You keep them on like
With the
different
younger
computers
sister.
in different rooms.
He plays Titanfall 2, but he just feels so guilty. He's like, oh god, this is so much better than my wife. Oh no. Oh no.
What if he learns from his mistake and he's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna marry dead services anymore. I'm gonna move on to the next service. Let's marry fucking Lost Ark or some other fucking dead game.
Oh, Google Stadia,
Lost
I
Ark,
love
no.
you forever.
Not Lost Ark, fucking Terra Online. I remember that got shut down like a month ago, and I'm like, really, guys? There are only like 20 people playing it, but okay.
You could have just said Anthem. Anthem is like the best dead
yeah,
game.
but
in
like
terms of-
Anthem. But like, was it even alive?
No,
though,
that came out of
What,
the
what about
oven
that
dead.
Platinum game that just came out whose name I've already forgotten?
Oh, Babylon's
Babylon
Fall.
Fall.
Yeah.
Babylon Fall,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's who you should marry. If you're a necrophiliac, that's who you should be going after.
You know how
That's
many
the one.
people it has playing right now? It has 45 people playing 11
Why,
minutes
that's,
ago.
that's an upgrade.
No.
That actually is an upgrade, you're right, because they
God
started
damn.
off with like
45, that's
4.
probably like American double agents talking to their Russian handlers just in complete secrecy where no one will see or care
This
to
is part of the
check.
CIA
Man,
handbook.
45 is bad, but its all-time peak is only 1,166 players.
How much do you think it
God.
even sold? Like, this is a AAA game. How much do you think it sold though? Like, if it has that much of a peak, obviously it was out on like PlayStation 4 and 5, but I'm not gonna imagine a lot of people were buying fucking handfuls of copies there either.
Yeah. I feel like definitely more people worked on the game than bought it, and that's a bad sign. Like even you couldn't even get all the employees to buy the thing they made or play it.
You know,
on
it's
launch.
funny because this is probably the one game where, like, in their testing phase, they had more live players than in their final release
Oh
phase.
no.
Yeah, that's sad, dude.
Oh,
I'm
that's
looking up
really
footage
sad.
of it, and it's so fucking dead, boringly sad.
You
It's
have
like-
to know when you're making it that it's such a piece of shit though, and that no one's gonna play.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if developers have that level of fucking foresight, dude. It's like, I don't even think consumers have that level of foresight either, because it's like so many people buy really dumb shit these days. We were talking about this before we even filmed this, but like, you guys know there's people fucking selling private land now, right? Like NFT private land. So it's
Yeah.
like we all know Bored Apes, right? Like they're selling like fucking. They raised like $285 million of cash just for like a crypto land sale, like a virtual land sale.
What does that entail?
You buy virtual land for like, I guess, a game that they're making, which is so funny because like every time like you hear about these NFT games, it's always like idle clicker bullshit or like fucking city builder nonsense that like Facebook moms play, like not something that we'd actually play, you know, like nothing substantial. It's, I don't know, people who fall for this shit are just,
I feel like maybe it could work if it was like Sims, I guess. If the entirety of Sims was on the blockchain, but even then.
it could. I mean, that would be that might be the only style of game that I think would work, like Sim City, but like everyone has a plot of land and we're all competing with each other on like a city.
But
like,
MMOs already
that
do
would be-
that. And remember, like I just found out the other day that Final Fantasy has like a house system. You know, you can buy a house and you got to maintain it. Otherwise, like they take your house away. So
it's funny because like, wait, what? Like, wait, no, hold on a second. That's way more interesting. They have a fucking homeowners association on FF14.
Yeah, do you have to like mow your lawn and fucking paint your house door outside and fix your door and all that?
That's what I heard.
Does the
I think
bank
it was
like remortgage your house?
Yeah, I know. So what happens is there's like a limited amount of house spaces or like area for houses to be built. So to make it fair, if you like unsubscribe or something, they remove your house and you can't get it back. And then that plot of land is linked to a different person.
Damn, that sucks.
I think
so
that's
is there like competition over where you live? Like, I want to live next to Bill. And like they're constantly fighting over where people get to put their houses.
Well, I assume there's probably like high-end districts. Like you don't want to be in the fucking Skid Row of like FF14, you know, where they're all doing like Jenkem. You want to be like.
I wanted to know. Apparently, what was interesting is apparently the housing market in Final Fantasy 14 mimics the real-life housing market as well. Prices in the houses have gone up astronomically since the housing market in real life has also gone up. I thought that was interesting, but also I was curious if like squatters' rights existed in Final Fantasy. So if you could like invade a home, and as long as you like stay logged in their home for long enough, like that house becomes yours. I thought that would be cool.
Well, would there be like, well, that would invoke a market for PvP fucking repo men, right? Like fucking send in some mercenaries to kick that squatter the fuck out. Because then you'd have to have like a court system and like lawyers and shit and be like arguing.
Yeah, but see, this all sounds fucking awesome, but as soon as you include NFT in there, it becomes miserable.
Yeah, because then you have to put in so much real money. Then you actually introduce the problem of reality, right? Where it's like, I think everyone has kind of like that weird, like, you know, subconscious fantasy of, yeah, I want to be involved in my $40 million mansion squatter, right, drama. But in reality, you can, because only the 1% could fucking do it. And now in the game, only the 1% can't even do it, right? Like when you introduce the NFTs and like
that's a really good point.
Selling them on.
Why do people want these digital worlds to be realistic?
How shitty does it have to...
The whole point of video games is that in a video game, I get to be who I'm not in real life. I can fly, I have superpowers, I can be a rich billionaire. But now you're telling me that my video games are gonna suck too, like real life. Oh, I'm poor here too.
How shitty does it have to be that you're not the 1% in real life, and then you hop into your fantasy world and you're not the 1% there either?
The 1% is taking everything
we don't even
from
get
us.
to daydream.
Yeah, you're like you go to your wage slave job in the day, you come home to your wage slave job.
Dude,
on
it's like the German it's like the German people.
You log onto your fucking VR headset and you're sitting in a cubicle again.
It's like fucking Germans. They go to their fucking job working a forklift at a factory, and they're like, I'm finally home, time to unwind, and they play Forklift Simulator on Steam.
Yeah, you have to work in your VR headset to pay for your digital food so your character doesn't starve as well.
Dude, there's gonna be a point where like actual classism becomes a thing in the metaverse or like these MMOs. So it's like you come home from your menial fucking job and then you sign onto a server and you're like literally some dude's fucking servant. Like you have to like fucking cook them food in their metaverse mansion and serve it to them. Like imagine. Like.
So there'll be two realities in that situation once we make the technological innovations towards this future. So there'll be the real life reality and then there'll be the digital reality. So you'll have two personas basically. So I wonder which one will people put more impetus on? Like which one will people care more about?
Oh,
do you think
digital.
they care more?
All the fucking losers are gonna swarm to the digital.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the losers are gonna go to the digital,
Jackson.
A big aspect of it is with digital, you can craft it to be exactly what you want.
Yeah, but you can't. That's what we're talking about. If it becomes reality, then you can't craft it to how.
Oh, you mean like? Okay.
Oh, I see.
I get what you mean.
Because what if we just buy this land super cheap and we become the old money of the metaverse, you know?
Oh, you're right. You're right, Muto. We should get in right now. Let's invest right now.
Yeah, we dip in right now. We can be the Elon Musks of the digital world.
No,
you know?
see, this is how they get you. This is how they get dummies. You tell them it's gonna be really big in the future, bro. Trust me. To make Ethereum.
We need to make the first digital railroads, and then we'll be set. How do we do that?
Yes, Jackson. We need to establish communication lines across the internet. No one has done that. We need to be the first.
What do you think? When do you think like fucking virtual defense companies are gonna fucking come into the play? Right, like you've been bullied online. Time to hire Blackwater Digital USA.
We tried that with the bully hunters, baby, but it was too soon. It was too soon.
The bully hunters crack down your virtual fucking shithole and fucking blow your head off.
Oh my god, the rich are gonna hire like private security and shit to guard their safes.
Well, what's gonna happen when metaverse criminals are trying to raid into the metaverse nuclear stockpile and destroy the metaverse? Like, what's gonna happen then?
Okay,
right?
see, now I'm sold. If I can play out my like Ocean's 11 fantasies in a video game, hell yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But that's not reality. Man.
Well, hang on. If we're talking about fantasies that we want to live in the cyberverse, the only thing I'd want to make sure transfers over is my MeUndies underwear.
Oh yeah, you gotta have undies.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
You
care.
want somebody to
In
see you without
metaverse.
undies.
I don't care
You'll
what
get banned.
I don't care what avatar I'm rocking in Meta or in the Oculus Quest 2 or whatever the fuck like virtual reality I am. It could be like fucking Guts from Berserk. I could be 1,000-foot tall giant. I could be a small anime girl with giant kawaii eyes.
Isn't that just VR chat though?
Yeah, I don't care what I am in VR chat. That character underneath that clothing, or if they're naked, wearing an invisible pair of MeUndies, it's confirmed. They have to be. Summer is sweaty, but your butt doesn't have to be. MeUndies now has light and breathable micro-modal fabric. It's gonna make you stay.
Oh my fucking god, that was such a good sponsor overlay. Holy shit. I thought you were actually talking about like fucking undies you wanted to carry with you. Holy shit.
I'm good at my job, Muda. What can I say?
What is the code? Because I'm about to buy some MeUndies.
Well, hold on, Muda. There's things about MeUndies I've got to let you know.
No, we got it. Quickly, code.
Okay, so they've got comfy fabric that'll help you stay cool all summer. Sizes extra small to 4XL. You can bring your butt to the beach without ever leaving the living room. You like that little alliteration?
I do.
Soft, stretchy, sustainably made. MeUndies has a great offer for Mudahar, as well as anyone else listening to this podcast. For any first-time purchasers, you can get 15% off if you sign up for their free-to-join membership. You can apply that 15% off to the already discounted membership prices. But if you just want to get 15% off of your first order flat and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies. Muda, do you have a pencil and a piece of paper? MeUndies.
I am writing this down.
MeUndies.com/official. That's MeUndies.com/official. But wait, you out there playing on VR chat as like a man made of spaghetti. You might be wearing those MeUndies on top of your model, but don't you want to make sure you have a six-pack to go with them? Don't you want to be toned and strong and muscular so that when all of the anime girls that are obviously just men come over and say, hey, dude.
I want that in real life. How do I make that happen in real life?
I always want that in real life. Come over and say, hey, whoa, nice muscles. You're going to say, thanks. I got them with FitBod. You can talk about how they're going to give you the routine that's personalized to you. You can talk about how they're going to give you body weight exercises if you don't happen to have a gym or equipment available. You can talk about how FitBod is going to give you goals based on your experience level and plan your next best workout without requiring big, long, dedicated 6-week plans, shortcuts, or bullshit. It doesn't matter. Look, people want to get in shape, and sometimes based on the state of the world, it's hard to go to the gym. It was raining outside where I live yesterday. Rain! Can you believe I'd have to get fucking wet if I went to the gym? No, thank you.
No.
FitBod will track your muscle recovery, balance your workout plan, and add a variety of exercises. You'll visualize your muscle usage and your achievements so you'll know just what you're getting done. Build your fitness habit and become a better version of yourself with FitBod. 25% off of your subscription. Try out the app for free when you sign up at fitbod.me/official. That's 25% off of your subscription when you sign up at fitbod.me/official.
And in the time it took for you to do that, I already got the app installed.
Yeah,
it's that easy.
I knew we brought you on the show for a reason.
My man.
So back on virtual reality stuff, yeah, the fucking metaverse. It's so weird, isn't it, that they want to make a metaverse and a whole digital reality, but they want to encourage people to be themselves in it? That feels like it defeats the purpose. You know?
It's like, I don't want to be myself when I'm in the
fuck
metaverse.
that.
Hell no. I want to be Muda, the Jenkem dealer that everyone comes to in their fucking hell.
I know,
no.
yeah.
Why can't we do it the other way? Why can't we make my real life self the digital version? Then I can change shit. That'd be so cool.
I know.
Instead of, ugh.
They should fucking, like, it's not like the Matrix where you're plugging just yourself into the digital world. And even then in the Matrix, some people were different than they were on the outside. Like, what was it? Fucking Ghost, I think, was a black man, and then when he jacked into the Matrix, he was Asian or something from the video game, which was canon and sucked. But, like, they should have meta meetings where it's like,
I don't remember that.
They should have meta meetings where it's like, here's Bill Ralphenstein, head of our company, and he's just like a fucking 7-foot-tall dragon sitting in a little tuxedo. Like, that'd be fun.
I would love to have a job interview like that. Holy fuck, man. That's the cool metaverse that you want, but like the one that we're going to get is it's just Second Life. It's just Mark Zuckerberg trying to get us fucking have a hotel again, and it really
it's
It's
a
not gonna
bunch
be a
of-
cool dragon. It's gonna be a furry actually sitting there as a fox.
It's just going to be a bunch of 60-year-old men who hop on the thing and go, wow, that looks like me. Look, Margaret, I'm in the digital world. And they'll just be walking around as an old, boring man. Sucks.
Yeah, Margaret's gonna try they're gonna try calling their kids on Facebook Messenger. Like, Dad, we do not use Facebook Messenger. Stop doing this.
What's my son's name on here? Is it XX Weed Lover 420? Triple X, I want to fuck Sans from Undertale. Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be an interesting way. No, but like, dude, it's so weird how like everyone has jumped into it. Like, I have friends who like buying Oculus headsets and they're like playing the games together over Oculus, like using their real name and everything. And it's just
Wait, people are actually adopting it? I thought it was just overall like
no,
I
I think they're just playing games. Like, some of them went into like Horizon Worlds to fuck around. Like, I'll sign on to there sometimes, and it's literally just like kids who are just like laughing and screaming at each other.
Those do seem
I'm
kind of
just-
fun because they have like open mic comedy clubs and shit. So
Oh, yeah,
I
I've
can
seen
kind of
that.
see the appeal of that. That's like
You don't get
interesting.
that in Horizon Worlds. You get that shit in VR chat. Horizon Worlds, like, they're just fucking talking about their day. It's like, dude, who signs on to the fucking Xbox Live Party talking about fucking traffic? Get out of here, you boring fuck.
There's a
Alright,
lot.
shit.
Tell me a joke, damn it.
There's a lot of great applications for VR, but man, the business world is
Yeah,
just so
that's-
boring about it.
Seriously, that's the only application I could see realistically is if it was just a digital meeting place or a, what do they call Twitter? Like a town square, I think the term is. Like, if it was just a digital town square, that would make sense. But they're not like saying it's that, right? They're saying it's the entire world simulated.
Which
or an
is
entire world
stupid.
simulated.
That shouldn't be the point.
Yeah,
Have
absolutely.
you guys
not.
ever considered filming an entire podcast in the metaverse? Like, all four of you guys just sitting around with a headset on, just like talking to each other?
That'd be
Like, one of
awesome.
y'all can be the
Only-
dragon, one of you can be the fucking,
Dude,
jester.
we could
You're
put
only able to listen to it if you come into the metaverse
no,
with us, though?
that'd be genius. We could get a virtual camera and set it up in there and like literally walk it around and show people different angles, and it would be like they're actually in the show if they put on their own headset. That'd be amazing.
That'd be kind of cool, because like
Oh,
everybody that's listening to us in this Discord call could be sitting in a stadium just like listening. They
Yeah.
could be in the audience, right?
Just
And you can
fucking
see their
throwing
avatar.
digital tomatoes at us, yelling ratio.
right?
Crying,
The
yeah.
amount of dildos and penises we'd be rated with every second, it would be unending. Just
That would be a
unceasing.
sick way. That would be a sick
MeUndies
way to
with like
do
shit
podcast.
stains all over them thrown at us.
People start throwing Blue Apron meals at us just for
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
I would love to do an entire. If we can do whatever we want in the metaverse, we should do an entire episode within Andrew. Like, we bore into him and do it from within him.
You guys travel
do
through
it
my
with
What is the
intestines.
show for now?
You travel
do
through
it
my
with
digestive
anus.
system during the
Yeah.
show. You go through my stomach and my intestines and shit.
And whenever
like-
Andrew has something to add to the episode, whenever he talks, it sounds like it's God talking to us. It's just from all around us.
Rumbling bowels. Ew.
I love
Like, when you're doing
that.
the MeUndies sponsorship, you're like, that shit stain is gonna end up on the MeUndies.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
I'm calling it. I want to be in on that. Whenever you guys do it
Yeah,
for the
we
first
could
time,
like
holy
peek
shit.
out of his asshole like a worm and touch the MeUndies fabric to demonstrate.
We're all just a fucking giant tapeworm representation going through his.
This sounds
anus.
less like a podcast and more like a theme park ride.
Yeah, we should make Andrew a theme park. That sounds awesome.
That does sound cool. What was the cartoon where they did that? Where the inside of the guy was a theme park?
It was Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
It was Rick and Morty. It was.
Wubba
Didn't
lubba dub dub.
another one? Didn't Fairly Odd Parents do that too, though?
Maybe.
I think.
Yeah, they did. They had like an internet episode where they like jumped into the internet and they were like flying through the fucking tubes and shit. Dude, I feel like the metaverse is like somebody watched that shitty Spy Kids movie and they just made a whole fucking.
No, I was right.
Yeah,
I was right. They go inside Vicky. And she has like a theme park in her called Kidneyland, and it's based on Disneyland.
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah. There's an episode, I just looked it up. They go inside Vicky, because like Timmy's like, why is Vicky such a giant bitch? Fuck that bitch. Let's go inside her and fix her dumb brain. And they go in her body, and there's like all these fucking like weird body horror places. Yeah.
I know they also did it in Futurama. Someone said it in chat, but they definitely did. Like, they go into Fry's
Yeah, they
ass.
went into Fry.
Yeah, they do go inside
Give him
Fry.
a gas
Because he has
station
the
sandwich.
worms. Yeah.
He's got the worms.
He's got the super smart worms. Yeah,
Would you,
yeah.
if you
All right,
guys,
let's
if
make
you
our
guys
own
could have
version.
super smart worms, would you? Because I would absolutely
in a
keep
heartbeat.
those
I
worms
would
in there. They made him a chat.
100% infect
I
myself.
remember as a
yeah.
kid that episode would piss me off because at the end he gets rid of the worms and I'm like, no, you
Yeah,
stupid
it's like it's
asshole.
such a fucking stupid thing to
them
do. He was
forever.
like winning life at the end of that.
Do you remember when he gets impaled by a pipe and Professor Farnsworth is like, oh, it's not looking good. We'll see what happens. And they just instantly heal him. It's like, just keep them for that alone, just to live at like
I
perfect
know,
health.
it's like nanobots.
Yeah.
He
I
got
mean,
everything.
I just don't understand why like they would get rid of something so fucking beneficial, you know? It's like,
They're not even doing anything harmful.
yeah, they're
Well,
just
you
there
can't
like taking
change the
care of them.
character though. That's similar to when in that SpongeBob episode Patrick becomes smart, but he becomes alienated from everyone.
I mean, hey, if
God.
it meant I have
Oh,
superpowers, I'm keeping fucking worms in me. I feel like that is
I'm a
something I
big fan of
definitely want
worms.
to have. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the worms either, but if they give me the ability to like fucking fly and like see through walls and like fucking, you know,
I get really squeamish about like any kind of parasites, like even like lice or anything like that. I'm really squeamish about the idea of things living on me or in me for some reason. Like it makes me feel really sick. But if it gave me like superpowers or like if it made me like a Chad or like Andrew said, like random holes in me could be repaired immediately. Fuck yeah, I
yeah.
can deal with that. The worms would probably make me feel better about it as well.
Yeah, they'd go in your
go-
brain and make you love it.
yeah, they'd be
they-
like, oh wow, this fear of worms? No, we love you.
Not anymore. Wait, why did those fucking idiots do that in Fry's body? Why didn't they change his mind?
That's a terrifying fucking concept where you have like a parasite. Like there's some horror and sci-fi movies that do it where you get it possessed or there's a parasite, but it goes into your brain and makes you love it. So you think it's great. Just having something taking over your body and fucking controlling
would you
you.
That
even
does
know?
exist in the
Yeah.
animal kingdom. You guys know those like zombie parasites that turn the snail into a fucking idiot zombie that crawls up onto. what was
They
it,
do that with
flowers? So
deers.
they-
There's one
Yeah.
with like deers as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Like,
We just
fucking-
talked about that last
dude,
week.
what was it? There's a parasite that forces deers to just like slam their head into trees until they kill themselves.
We literally,
Yeah.
that was the topic last week.
That was I was like, where did I hear that? It was last week.
and they rot too. Like they look like they're rotting and shit, like actual zombies. It's just
Oh, God.
nah.
I can't, like,
wasn't a prion.
if it's happened, yeah, if it's happened in other species, that means it can happen to us, right? Eventually. Maybe.
No, that would be a fun pandemic. See, not like this lame one. Is that one something
Yeah,
exciting?
but then
All
you
the
still
germs
have
and
people
worms we get.
politicizing that shit. Like, I don't know, is it really that big of a deal to lose complete control and be a zombie? Like, come on now. Ugh, you're telling me I have to wear a mask? I mean, it's only a zombie
be
infection.
awesome.
Fuck.
Well, in that case, I would be like, yeah, okay, fair enough. This is fun now. Well, not fun, but like serious, I guess. I would try to make
I mean,
my own
it's
fun.
it's gonna take that to like really convince people, you know, beyond just like anything else. It's gonna take like the zombie pandemic, which like so the end of the world is something that I've been like super like focusing on like crazy. Like it's just something that like hits me, you know, like from time to time because I don't know if you know this
Existential
website. It's an old
crisis.
website. Yeah, it's a site called Exit Monday that I don't know if you all
Oh
ever went onto
yeah.
it.
Yeah, dude, I
just-
read that website like a decade ago. That website's old as shit.
What's it
Oh
called?
man, Exit Monday. So it's Exit MUNDI. And so it just
Yeah.
has giant end of the world scenarios. So
Dude,
it's like
and it's so old half the pictures on it don't even work anymore.
Yeah, no, they don't load anymore.
Fuck yeah, Exit Monday's the
I love
best.
websites like this. Yeah. Holy shit.
They even have one where it's like, if nothing ever happens, this is what's gonna, like, we're just all gonna, like, fall into sleep mode for the remainder of the universe.
God, I remember this website. I read this website, like, roughly when it came out, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing.
Oh, the site's so great. The thing with it is, like, when I look at the way, like, so I don't think we're gonna be like a zombie thing, you know what I mean? I think what's gonna probably happen is like nuclear holocaust, maybe, who knows? That's a winning contender.
Or like a meteor.
Yeah, the meteor shit. I mean, that's also like just like a nuclear holocaust on like a, natural scale, like just boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but
that's
the problem
pretty
with
much
the
the only
meteor
way.
shit is like we've cried wolf so much now. Every time a meteor even grazes our galaxy, you have like dozen articles going, meteor headed for Earth, and then you click it, it's like gonna miss Earth by 77 fucking light years.
I saw a tweet the other day, like a few weeks ago, and they're trying really hard to make this meteor stuff hit, like in terms of like clickability, because they were talking about it, and in the tweet header, they were like, a meteor the size of 2 giraffes and an antelope passed by the Earth pretty close, and there was like no facts in there, and I was like, what is this sizing convention as well? 2 giraffes and an antelope? How am I meant to put that
That's
together
the
in my
official
head?
measuring convention, Jackson. You just don't understand meteors enough to know.
Put it in meters or something. I don't know how large a giraffe is.
They didn't want to apply the metric scale to it. They wanted to apply the fucking Fisher-Price scale.
They have those little
that's the big
things where when you
on that
pull the
shit.
cord, it spins around and goes, the cow says moo, and they pull that every
yeah.
time they need a measurement.
But that wasn't the only one as well. Then, like, a couple weeks later, I saw another tweet that used the same fucking convention. They were like, another asteroid the size of, like, 2 Empire State Buildings passed by. Like, why are you choosing these? I don't know, how big that is.
They always try to make them sound
It's
so
annoying.
grandiose, like it's the size of 30 Mount Everests. Well, I assume that's big.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
good. Yeah. The fucking size half of Earth about to collide with Earth. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, you're right. Here it is, Newsweek. Oh, dude, but it's Newsweek.
Oh, it was 2 Empire State Buildings. I don't know what Newsweek is. I just saw the tweet.
No, it's like, this is like the fucking, it's like daily, like fucking Daily Mail and shit, where it's like, hey guys, World War III is coming out. Better pre-order that shit right now. Russia and America are
Oh, so
having
it's
an
like
all-out
tabloid
brawl.
journalism.
Yeah, it's all that. That's all it comes down
I
to.
don't know, man. So
no,
you've
I'll
got...
tell you, the big outlets do this very same thing, I promise you. I
What, the
hate
2
these
Empire State
asteroid
Buildings
news.
thing?
Yeah, and the general
yeah.
just like fear-mongering about asteroids that are gonna miss us by miles and light years.
Well, I
They
did-
do this
I did look it up.
constantly. It's
They've-
so lame.
There's a space organization, I don't know which one now, and I don't know the website, but they do have a website tracking all of the close calls that are predicted, and some of them are, like, expected to hit this decade, but they're never anything, like, substantially sized or anything. And even if they were substantially sized, I don't think they would advertise that because of, like, panic
Dude,
and stuff.
I kind of want to make a video on this shit now. Just like literally these weird conventions. It's like, wait, phallic asteroid attacking? Oh my god. Yeah,
That looks
no,
like a
it's-
piece of shit. That
That
doesn't look like a
actually,
penis.
Jackson actually did make a good point. If an actual asteroid was heading our way that was a danger, they would literally not even tell us.
Yeah. Oh, here
Yeah,
it is.
they-
An asteroid the size of a bus will safely fly by. What the fuck is the point of the article here? It's like, yeah, the asteroid isn't going to impact Earth, by the way. Cool. Like every day there's something that flies past us. Holy
here's
shit.
another
That's what
one.
I'm telling you. It's so frustrating.
Here's another one. Asteroid the size of a grand piano strikes Earth. Well, who the fuck's running this to the orchestra?
And also, wait, the size of a grand piano compared to the size of the Earth, that's nothing.
Yeah.
If it hit a
like
major
take out a
city,
fucking
if it hit a city or
pond.
something, that would matter. But if it just strikes like in the ocean or randomly on Earth, who gives a shit? Doesn't
Oh, look
matter.
at it. An asteroid the size of a house pass. Do these people not know what the fuck? Oh wait, this is an April 1st article. Still, do these people not know that like these things burn up in the atmosphere? Like it's gonna be the size of a fucking like condom the moment it touches Earth.
Maybe
Fuck outta
global
here.
warming is the way to go. We need to make more greenhouse gases so when the super asteroid eventually shows up, we'll be fine because it'll burn up.
Yeah. Oh, here's another article from that Snopes site. This is why I guess Snopes gonna go fuck itself. Is Funyuns Mountain Dew real? Like, does it really need an article? Like, is there somebody who like looked up a search result on Twitter and it's like,
Well, is it
Snopes
real?
is a joke. All these websites writing these fucking articles
it
are a
is
joke.
not
Do you
a
guys
joke.
think maybe
It
it's
is.
just it's an inside gag with the writing staff where like they go, okay, watch this. I'm gonna compare this meteor to a fucking cat.
Who the fuck would have funny and tasted
Snope.
Mountain Dew? That is so disgusting.
Look, no, Snopes is the premier fact-checking website on the internet. If you go on their front page, they have a TikTok rumors section. And it is mostly just people watching obviously fake videos. And they need Snopes to disprove them. For example, do videos show rocket hitting the moon? And it's like the moon exploding in half, and people think it's real.
Just go outside and look up, you idiot.
People, I don't, dude, I
Wait,
don't
the
know.
moon's
People,
exploded.
here,
Let me
this
log
is-
onto the internet to check if that's true or not.
I just remembered another one where it just pisses me off. People are so goddamn stupid. So there's this video that's going viral on TikTok and also making its rounds on Twitter of the moon passing really, really close over the Earth. Have you guys seen this video?
I have.
Okay,
I have.
it is the most blatantly obvious fake video ever. And like something that even clues you away if you're convinced by the visual effects is when it passes in front of the sun, the video makes a loud like boom noise. Which would not happen. When the lights go out, it doesn't make a noise, everybody. When the sun is blocked, like during an eclipse, you don't hear like a light go off noise. But it's just this like incredible cavalcade of stupidity because half the people on the video are like, oh my God, this is so amazing. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Wow, I can't believe this ever would happen. Space is unreal. And then the other half is people who are like, no, it's fake. I mean, I think it is. Like, it could be. It's probably fake.
I think it is.
It definitely should be fake. Like,
Yeah, you
how
know, it doesn't really
stupid.
seem real.
God.
Well, I'm looking at this one on YouTube Shorts. Moon hit by asteroid caught on camera. And so, yeah, it does in fact hit the moon. I am seeing a supernova. Now, in the comments, if the sound of the explosion was minutes delayed instead of 3 seconds, would be more realistic.
Oh my
Would
god.
be more realistic. I like how
God.
the asteroid in airless space has a smoke trail. Or some people on YouTube are actually applying like science, which is something like. Wait, this guy's like, hey, listen, I don't know. There won't be that wave in space, I think. Really? Do you think? Really now?
Well, if we can't even hear it, you know.
Oh, my
What is the
Lord.
recommendation algorithm? I scrolled down. My dad's new neighbor said having 2 gay kids means he failed as a parent right after that.
It's the just mush brain recommendation algorithm. It's like, oh, you're watching fake asteroid videos. Here's more fake garbage for you to watch, you dummy.
It's like, what happens when
odd.
an astronaut returns to Earth?
It
Well,
can't.
He's
it can't just
executed
all-
immediately for treason.
It can't just all
dare
be
you leave the
children, can
planet.
it? Like, there's just way too many people who believe these obviously fake videos. Like, oh Lord.
But here's the thing, man. Like, I mean, you have people who like believe, 'cause if it exists in video form, therefore it must be true. I feel like that's a rule for most people on the internet. Like, you know, how are you going to fake that video? Clearly you just saw Tinkerbell fly across that field. Clearly the Tooth Fairy just robbed that kid. Clearly she's real and
People
a criminal.
believe in
like,
goblins now because
Yeah.
they've seen goblins on camera, apparently. And they're the size of, like, your pinky
Listen,
running
people
across the bottom
believe
of the
that
screen.
the Earth is flat. Like, you can't beat that
Yeah.
shit.
And
Come
then
on now.
they still have
do.
skepticism, but they apply it in the worst places where, like, you'll show them a video of a crime, just a mundane crime, and they'll be like, oh, that's a false flag. That didn't really happen. Like, it's not that, like,
Yeah, they'll
fantastic
apply
of an
every
issue.
time.
Like, someone hate crimed someone else. It's not a fucking false flag CIA op. You're believing a fucking flat Earth and shit, but not this.
Well, it's like,
It's frustrating.
it's not, it doesn't even have to be video meter. It's like on Facebook, you just believe what anyone posts in general. Yeah.
Well,
No,
yeah,
you seriously,
that's-
like, if it's just posts, people believe text at face value now as well.
I mean, you could, you know, way back when you had like the John Titor shit, like this fucking time traveler, you could probably post John Titor on Facebook and people like, you know what, this guy's from the year 2046. He really has a good head on his shoulders. He knows what's up. He knows the cyber war is about to happen in like 3 months from now. Like Skynet's about to infiltrate. I get it. Like, I don't know, man. People are really, really fucking like easily misled. And this is where, to get into a serious thing, like I was reading recently, like they had that fucking Ministry of like Propaganda or some shit in like the United States. Like Biden signed off on like some Ministry of Truth, like the fact checking committee, right? And so this is my thing with the internet, right? Like I am one of those people where I understand like misinformation can be bad, right? Like it can lead people down some rabbit holes that are pretty unrecoverable. But I kind of hate the whole notion of like, let's censor shit on the internet just because it's wrong. You know, like I feel like it's the internet. You should allow people to like read every single aspect. And I feel like, and this is maybe an optimistic way of looking at it, but I feel like, hey, listen, if, you know, by that logic, delete everything in the flat earth space, right? Because it's obviously bullshit. But it's like, doesn't that just force people?
1 sec. Muda,
doesn't that force people to just radicalize themselves into it?
It absolutely does, yeah.
I would like to answer you, and you're completely right, but is Muda cutting out for everyone else too?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
it might
Jackson,
be.
could you
it
change
might be the
server
connection.
region
Yeah,
on the
let me
voice
try.
chat? Yeah, do that
Well,
real quick,
thankfully,
please.
we're recording this locally.
Yeah, no, it won't be the local recording. It's just Discord. So just
No, Muda, you're absolutely right, and just what I hate is like the kind of people going, oh, well, misinformation isn't free speech, we need to get rid of this. Yeah, well, cool, except like everything you call misinformation is like proven right in 6 months' time. It's
My thing is like, just let the information out there, and like, you know, I think the grand majority can be able to decipher, like we used to do in the internet back in the day, right? Like we had fucking 4chan ops back in the day too, but it's like, I feel, I don't know, we can decipher.
There was a higher barrier to entry with the internet back then, though. You had to know how to like operate a computer, and that was kind of niche back then, I suppose. You had to know like how to get onto a browser and stuff. You had to know how to use a keyboard and a mouse. There was just a lot of moving parts. But nowadays, that's so ingrained in everyone.
Yeah.
So many people are on the internet, and so many people are stupid. So many stupid people are on the internet,
They are,
including
but
myself.
you can't just blame the people either, like to Muta's point. Like, in the 4chan days, you could, you know, they would start like these troll ops where they would go, oh, okay, you know what, the OK Hen sign is now a Nazi symbol. But nowadays, you have fucking actual institutions joining in on the fucking psyop. Like the ADL and the Southern Poverty Law Center will be like, yeah, that's a Nazi symbol. If you ever see that someone doing, like, when they're scuba diving, that's a Nazi. It's like, why are we amplifying this? That's
Something
not a problem
that's,
with fucking misinformation, it's a problem with you.
Something that's really interesting that I try to keep perspective on when I hear this shit is we were the last, and Jackson, you're actually not included in this, but we were the last generation. We were the last generation to grow up without
On my birthday
modern
too,
internet.
Andrew. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sorry, Jackson. I'm sorry, but us old men like Muda, Kaya, and I were the last generation to grow up without the internet, the modern internet. Like our childhood did not really.
Wait, joke's on you. I'm in Australia. We didn't have internet until like 5 years ago. You fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Myths have-
fuck me.
Myths
But
have existed before the internet, though.
Well, no. But my point with that is, think how many kids today grow up with the internet being like naturally just there. It's just part of their life. And then extrapolate that into how many of them just say stupid shit that people take as fact. Because my ultimate point is, when you're on the internet, very rarely do you know any statistics about people you're talking to. Like if you're on Twitter or fucking Facebook or TikTok or whatever, yeah, I mean, occasionally you'll see a profile picture or something, but you usually don't know that person's age, their level of schooling, what they do for a living. Tons and tons and tons of places you just get info, just raw info. So think how many times you've been on Twitter or you've read a news article that's gotten big, and who's to say it wasn't just a random thing that a 14-year-old said as a joke? You never know. You never know. But that wasn't really as much of a thing back when we were growing up, because the internet wasn't as much of a thing, especially for kids.
Well, you're absolutely right. Now it's like most people, they buy a cell phone and they just have like to tap one bubble on their phone and they're connected to the internet.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need. There's no barrier to entry.
Okay, think about if you needed an old school internet thing to blow up into mainstream news, how hard you would have to work, especially if you were a kid and limited to like that old school child internet, like AOL Kids or whatever the fuck your parents would sign you up for. Now, any 13-year-old can pull out their phone in the span of 2 minutes, post a tweet, and then randomly, depending on what they say, it goes viral and a news outlet could pick it up. Like, it's that easy. It's that simple. Wasn't like that.
That has its upsides and downsides. I like it. I like that. Like, some fucking random teen can do something cool. Not like start a fucking fake news thing, but like make a song and get more views than CNN Plus did in like a month.
Oh yeah. I don't want it to come off as me complaining. Like the modern internet is on the whole largely a good thing. It's all a good thing. But there are problems. There's problems that come with it that we never had to deal with before.
Yeah, I just don't like the mental. Like, to me, the internet is the greatest invention of our species, and having those kind of people who spread bullshit on the internet that end up hurting people, that is not the prize of the internet. That's the price of it. It's the downside.
Right.
It's
well, I agree.
You have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. Like, yeah, there's gonna be people doing sleazy shit on the internet, but it's the fucking internet.
But what if it does actually turn out to cause more harm to humankind in the long run?
The internet?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
this level of interconnectivity with everyone.
Yeah,
anyway.
the connectivity is the connectivity, but Jackson, you got to remember the internet is also the entire wealth of human knowledge. So something you could relate to on your own point.
How can you ascertain what the human knowledge is if it is mixed in with, you know, misinformation? Not to use like an overused term or anything,
but even
stuff
then,
that isn't true.
But even then, it's course corrected far easier than everything else. Imagine you have a book, and the book comes out, and it goes, "The sun is a gas giant. It's made of gas, like it's a big gas thing." And you're in school, and you read that book, and you go, "Yep, sun's made out of gas." But then, when do you find out the sun is actually made out of plasma? Whereas on the internet, you'd find that out immediately because that info would be corrected immediately.
So interestingly, when it comes to like the downsides of the internet on humanity, I think so. What's weird is like I'm a firm believer of like AI attacks on like entire countries and like swaths of people. So TikTok, right, being one example, right? Like if you look at TikTok in China, for instance, right? TikTok in China is very regulated. Like the children who are trying to access Douyin is what they call it over there. They're only able to get like super educated material, like none of that fucking devious bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you connect to TikTok anywhere else in the fucking world that it's launched, and all the kids are watching the most brain damaging fucking crap in the world. And I don't want to sound like a fucking weird parent about it, but like I definitely can realize like, hey, let's say on like a super fucking tinfoil hat level, like if you were like the government of China, right, and you wanted to really fuck up America, like 20 years from now, you start right at the kids, right? Like you fuck up the kids' brains up first.
Tinfoil hat. It's literally their business strategy. Like you said, like, oh wait, so China owns TikTok, but TikTok isn't really available in China. I wonder why. And then you look at fucking like Western kids, and they're all grooming each other into like made up mental illnesses and genders on this fucking app, making themselves miserable. It's like, I kind of see a connection here.
I just firmly believe like fucking the weird shit that we get fed, like all the misinformation, all like the devious, all the weird trends. And what really weirds me out with a lot of those criminal trends, right? Like the devious lick shit and all that stuff, is that it starts trending really well on the app for a while, and only until like a news agency picks it up, right? Like, or it becomes like the eye of like a mainstream news attention. Then it's like, oh wow, okay guys, we're really sorry that we let this trend, let's just get rid of it. Like, okay, how the fuck did you let it happen for like 4 fucking weeks? When there were like so many compilations on the internet about it. Like, what the fuck?
Do you think by then there's an era of it's not cool anymore?
What do you mean?
So you're doing your TikTok thing, you're a fucking 14-year-old kid, and the newest fad is, let's say, like punching bread. Like, oh, it's so random and funny. Take out a loaf of bread and punch it as hard as you can. And then CNN picks up on it because that's what they do. And do you think there's an air amongst those people now where it's like, oh, you know, it's not cool anymore. It's on mainstream news. It's everywhere. It's too saturated.
No, but Muta is more so talking about like the company not taking responsibility and shifting it around. It's every single time. It's the attitude of, oh, whoops, we never meant for that to go viral. Thanks for pointing it out, you
now
guys.
I get it.
Because like, I feel like they could isolate and figure out what's going viral or what isn't, right? Like you have entire teams that are sitting down working on your algorithm and you're promoting that. Like, what the fuck? I mean, there's a thing with social media, and it's like it's something that's unanimous no matter where you go to. Like, this is why shit like fucking Trump Social or like Truth Social, like Parler and all these like other sites. Like the reason why these sites really don't work to the extent that they would their mainstream counterparts is that like they have one group of people on there and that's all it is. Like the way for these social media sites to work, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, is that like they always need to have like there always needs to be like conflict, you know, like conflict really drives like raw engagement so hard. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, like for me, when Gab first came out, Gab is my favorite because it's such a shit show. It's hysterical. I recommend everybody like look into the founder of it and just his history, Andrew Torba, a complete fucking lolcow. It's like, I signed up initially for it when it very first came out, like literally the first week, just to park my username. I didn't actually use it or anything. But within the first week, I noticed, it's the only thing that's trending is like literal flat earth theories and calling Obama slurs. That's all that was trending to the point that they had to remove the trending page. It's like, why would you even want to be on that site when it's just filled with people that only agree with you? That's boring. That's an echo chamber. Like, I like arguing. I want to argue with people. I want to see like opinions that rile me up from time to time. It's entertaining.
If it's genuinely filled with those kinds of people, then you're just proving the other side right as well. Like it was filled with people just calling
it's a self-fulfilling
Obama
prophecy. Yeah, but it's like a built-in bias. The problem with those platforms is, and I fucking hate that they do this, every single time they do this, they go, we're Twitter except pro-free speech. You can say anything on our site. You will never get banned.
Except porn. You can't do porn. You can't do that. That's not free.
Yeah, anything that impedes their money generating.
That's an excuse too, but it's like when you promote it as that, all you're gonna get is people who've been banned everywhere else, which just happens to be like the most hardcore lunatics who just want to yell slurs. Yeah, that's gonna be your user base.
Have you ever noticed that any website that has to like outwardly promote that they support free speech is a website where people are just posting slurs and that's it and nothing else?
That's exactly what I see every time I connect to these sites. Yeah.
I want a more free speech site. I hate that like some liberal San Francisco furry is the guy deciding who gets to say what on Twitter. But if you're going to make a new company that's centered around letting people have more free speech, don't say it. Don't say it out loud. Mm-hmm. Just adjust your moderation policies, do it on the down low, don't advertise it as such because that's just bait for lunatics.
I only have like one rule. Like in my opinion, when you're running sites like Twitter, you should be politically neutral, right? Like, I mean, of course, you know, like, be fair to every side. And the other thing is like the only thing that you should really obviously be, you know, monitoring is like actual like real tangible hate speech. Like if somebody's out on your website inciting like, hey guys, on fucking, you know, February 12th, let's go and fucking beat up all these groups of people, right? And they're like organizing and doing some crazy shit.
Which is already illegal.
No, you know? That's illegal.
Yeah, the exception to the First Amendment is call to violence. A tangible call to violence is already illegal. That sort of stuff.
There's a difference between saying I hate the president and I'm going to shoot the president. Like, yeah. Very different
shoot
things.
him out of love.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot him full of kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah. Come here, Biden. Get over
Tomorrow
here.
at 8 a.m. at a speech.
I'm going to kiss the president.
Yeah.
With my scope.
But it's like if you have a difference of like opinion or something, right? Like if somebody's on like a different side of a spectrum politically, then it's like, oh, we'll fucking destroy, like, or we'll just like, you know, delete your account or like, you know, shadow ban you or something like that. And I don't agree with that. You know? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's retarded. But do you know the story of Andrew Torba, Muta?
I don't know the story. I know him being the Gab
man.
CEO, but I have no idea about his history.
He's such a clown. He's one of those fake Christian who just say, like, he's never read the Bible or anything, but he just says Christ is Kang, and that's basically how he panders to his fucking audience. So he makes Gab. He raises millions of dollars to make Gab on his crowdfunding thing. No, nobody except flat earthers fucking end up using it. So he gets hacked a couple of times because all he did was basically clone like a fucking PHP Twitter clone GitHub repo. And then that didn't work. His user base was dwindling. So then one day he decided, you know what, I'm going to fork Mastodon. We're going to burn all the work we've done until now. And we're just going to be federated. We're going to go on Mastodon. And that's where his excuse of banning porn came from. He decided he said, well, Mastodon is full of porn, never mind. I'm deciding to defederate. The truth is he got bullied by anime avatars, and he couldn't handle the heat because Mastodon is full of those kind of people. And they made fun of him so fucking hard that he decided to defederate his service again and close it up.
What is so we were talking about this the other day, Kaya, but can you explain to everyone in the audience what federating is? Because I still think it's such a
It's
niche
just
thing.
yeah, it is kind of niche, but you know how, well, you know that Twitter and Facebook and such are centralized, all right? A federated network is basically I can host my own version of Twitter and you can host your own version of Twitter and we can talk to each other. Or we can decide not to talk to each other. That's all it really means. It's like we are each running our own instances of a social media site, but we can communicate with each other. And for Andrew Torba, the upside was, okay, if I federate, I can neatly integrate my website into this already existing ecosystem that has a lot of users, at least compared to Gab. And he got bullied. He couldn't take it. So he went like, oh, there's just too much porn on there, you guys, and I'm a Christian. This is demonic.
How many of these services do you guys actually think are legit FBI, U.S. Marshal honeypots?
Oh.
Unironically, like...
Wait, this Andrew Torba guy is actually like a CIA operative?
No, so this is what my theory is, right? Like, these guys make these services, and you know when Parler came out, they were like, oh wow, within a day it got fucking hacked and shit. I'm like, now that I think about it, I feel like every time somebody makes a service like this, like Trump Social, like the NSA just backdoored into it, because they literally just fork whatever the fuck they find on GitHub without ever looking at the code.
Oh, yeah,
and just post it up, security flaws and all. They never even update shit. And then imagine, like, you've got like the FBI, the NSA just backdoored, reading into all the DMs and posts.
What are these software engineers that are getting paid like $1 million incomes per year doing? Are they just copying GitHubs?
I think they are.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I genuinely don't know where
GitHubs
all of that money went. It was multiple millions of dollars that Torba burnt, and I don't know on what.
I swear, no,
understand.
dude. I think it just went to like the pockets of like close friends. I have to imagine that's like the story for nearly every single one of these things, because it's like you can give any fucking dude. We could literally start a fucking company today and call it like Freedom Social, right? Like fucking Freedom Social and shit. We could raise like $10 million or something on Kickstarter, and then we just make fucking weird jobs for all of us. Like Andrew could be the fucking director of Moby Hughes at the office, and fucking you know, like, and then we just give each other like fucking mega salaries and shit. But all we have to do for our work is like we get a cluster, we get like a cloud server package somewhere, and we just deploy some fucking GitHub code and done. Shake your hand and call it a day. Fuck. It's not like you have to use a service. Dude, that Trump service doesn't even have like an Android app. Like there's so many people that still can't even connect.
Trump doesn't even use his own service. I think he just
No,
signed
he
up
didn't.
for it yesterday.
He tweeted yesterday. I mean, he truthed yesterday.
Yeah, people retweeted that truth.
That's the other part. It's like it's such unappealing marketing when you go, okay, I'm gonna make a new social media site where everyone's gonna be more free. What are you gonna call it? Truth Social. Okay, you can log on to it from your Freedom phone. It's like cringe.
Dude,
fucking
the
hell.
Freedom phone. Oh man, I loved going on that Freedom phone shit because it was such a fucking grift.
Wait,
and
what
there
the
were so
fuck?
many
I
people
can't
who
access
came
it.
in.
I can't access Truth.
Wait, are you on your iPhone?
No, I'm on the computer. I just went to truthsocial.com.
It's only iPhone, bro. Only iPhone.
No, but their
Follow the
website, their actual
truth.
website.
Holy shit, this Freedom Phone thing looks amazing. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
How the fuck
good.
do you have a free speech focused phone? That doesn't make any sense. It's not like the phone shuts off whenever you say something wrong.
Wait, I understand why now. I understand why I can't access the website. Apparently, truth is only available to America.
Yeah.
I'm banned from knowing the truth.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You have to believe the lies of the elite, bro. Wait, that's also funny too. Like when people are like, you have to believe the lies of the elite, but let me connect to the other 1%er that made his truth-focused platform.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh my god.
By the
Don't
way,
believe what
Andrew,
the other
Freedom
billionaires
phone,
did.
like people looked it up. It's literally just like a fucking $20 Chinese phone that they rebranded. They just put their own branding on it and like a shitty Android spin-off, and that's literally all it does. And the whole freedom aspect of it was, I think,
Dude.
that it has its own app store or some shit. I don't remember, but it was a huge grift.
Yeah, it was in its own app store.
I fucking love
just
the
looks like
Freedom
Android.
Phone. Holy shit. I'm obsessed
Which
with
is
this
like-
now.
Like the only phone that I know is truly like a privacy phone is like it's like that Librem product, but it's like $1,200. So it's like privacy better be really fucking important to you, because you're not getting anything spec wise. Like it's literally just like a Linux phone with like switches, like actual hardware switches that like power down the mics and the camera. So it's like, yeah, like unless you're like an executive, that's like the phone you'd have, you know, to like truly isolate yourself. But
I guess, but even
yeah,
then,
that's
it's
pretty
like,
much it.
okay, I want to be safe, so I'm gonna have to turn off my mic and the camera and the internet. It's, well, at that point, I just have a brick. Like, what is the point then? You know?
So what was the thing that what was the private phone that you were just talking about? What's it called?
Librem 5.
So-
Libram.
Like, is that the kind of thing that like CIA agents use or undercover agents and such? Like, they would have to use something like that.
I mean,
right?
I'd have to imagine they have their own like custom hardware. Like I'd have to imagine like the phones that they've been given is like there's nothing that says that you can't use an iPhone or something, right? Like an Android device. I would have to imagine like all agent phones probably have like, you know, a hypervisor built into it that like allows it to be monitored by like a remote agency, you know? So they can
Right.
like read a message, like monitor calls, so you're not calling fucking Russia and selling state secrets. Also, you know, like let's say you did go missing, like they could ping your phone, right? Like through a hypervisor
Yeah.
application that couldn't be shut
I
down.
was.
You
I
would
would also assume
though,
that it'd be exceptionally stupid having like a secret agent phone that would give away your identity just by holding it, because people know that this is what the CIA uses.
Yeah, like I
you
would have to imagine they'd give you. I know the president got an iPhone. Like I know they took away Trump's Samsung device, and they gave him like an iPhone, just like one that was enterprise locked or something to like the White House, like Homeland
one that was
Security. Like, they could
wiretapped by the NSA,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, exactly. Like HomeSec was like looking at their shit. Exactly.
You have to also, again, I said this last week, but the government is equal parts evil and incompetent. The other day, I spent like 3 hours reading about double agents in the US, these guys who would work for the FBI or CIA, who would then sell state secrets to the Russians. It's mind-blowing how careless they can be. Like, there's this one dude, I forget his name, Hansen. Maybe I'm confusing him with another guy, actually. But point is, he sold so many secrets to the Russians that he became rich. And he would come into the office, look with like suits that cost more than his boss makes. And no one thought anything of it. And then they started investigating him finally. But then the team that was investigating him went on vacation. Like, this is mind-blowing. And the guy got multiple like fucking Russian double agents executed because he just kept selling their identities to the Russians.
Jesus, what the fuck? Holy shit!
Yeah, but that must have been a really sweet vacation.
That must have been.
And they made so much money of this shit too. My God, I wish I could be a double
Quantum
agent.
TV guy. Have you
What
guys
is the
been
Quantum
following
TV?
Quantum TV? You guys have been following it? He's
No.
like, so you know when we all know what the Streisand effect is, right, boys?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
basically, like for anybody in the chat, obviously, if somebody, you know, if somebody, like, let's just say what he did was, so he made an Elden Ring review, right, where he's like, oh, the game's fucking difficult. Can we make it easy? Why are they making games that not everybody can play? Okay, like Jesus Christ. So he made like an Elden Ring video. Nobody really gave a shit about it. Like, I didn't care too much. Some people downloaded it and they made like a commentary. They like ripped on it, you know? It's like, whatever. We all do this to each other. So he decided to like DMCA strike like a smaller channel, and then like Actman started doing it, and then he DMCA'd him, and he just started throwing DMCAs all around. So it's like instead of 100 people like looking at his fuck up, now you just got like over 1 million people looking at the fuck up. So, anyways, he's been
They never learn.
Well, it's funny because like so he had this like few things. He had like these posts that he made on his like Twitter account. Now his idea was he got hacked, right? So on his Twitter account was some like really homophobic shit or something, right? Like he's like a super like he's like if
Did he
gay
have
people in
Truth
my
Social
game?
installed and shit? And like,
I think he did. Like I watched one of his videos. So I watched one of his videos for like the game Horizon Forbidden, like for the new one, right? Like Forbidden West or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like one of his things was he's like, I don't know if anybody's been noticing it, but there's just too many black people in this fucking game. All right, like every time I walk around, too many fucking black people in this game. Yeah, like literally that was one of the reviews. I just feel like it's Sony pushing the BLM movement onto us. I'm like, whoa. I thought we were like, it starts off from like, okay, we're reviewing this TV, and then like a minute or 2 minutes into the video, it's like, what the fuck kind of unhinged rant are we going on? So he had a bunch of these posts, right? And then like people called him out on it, and he's like, no, I was hacked. So then it got me thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. So that means like if somebody hacked my Twitter account, right? And they were just like, yeah, you know, fuck minorities and all that shit, right? Let's just fucking go full racist. And then I got my account back, and I was like, you know, I'm not going to delete that shit because it's like a memory of like when I was hacked, right? Like,
Right.
you know that time
Wait.
when I was linking to Stormfront? Yeah, that's a memory, boys. Like, fuck.
So who is this? This is Quantum TV saying all this
TV,
racist?
Yeah, Quantum TV. Now, I don't know.
He's
Go ahead.
black. I'm confused.
Well,
He's
Be at
black.
home on
Yeah.
Gab.
Yeah, no, he's the black guy. That's what I was weird, because he was like, so I don't know if anybody's been playing these like games recently, but too many black people, dude. Here's like this one Discord post. So I want to read this Discord post, okay? And you guys have to try not to laugh at it, okay? Like this is your
I'll try.
This is your try not to laugh challenge, okay? I just want to thank everyone for sticking with me. It's obvious most of these other reviewers, like Stop the FOMO, Digital Trends, and HDTV Test, are just Satanists in disguise. Every time I've seen one of their videos, you can tell they're trying to brainwash the masses into their gay, liberal, satanic, atheist agenda. 1 minute, someone could be watching Stop the FOMO, and the next minute, they start having anal sex with their dads, doing so...
Fuck.
Alright, challenge failed.
Like the anal sex is pretty funny, but then he specified their dads, and that broke me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was always I was already pre-giggling at anal sex.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That's the shit that I laughed my ass off when I read it. I'm like, there's no fucking way somebody could be that real. So yeah, he started drama with like other, and this is why I love this story. Okay,
hold on, read the rest.
Video. Okay, yeah, you're right. I can't just. All right, so after the amazing anal sex with a dad, trying to conjure demons with satanic rituals, satanic influence isn't a joke. It was
really
obvious already when Stop the FOMO ended up using the Lucifer logo to praise Satan and claimed he was just testing for blooming. God, I hate atheists with their satanic rituals. Every one of these people are going to hell and suffer for eternity. They need an ass kicking from some Christians, not all. Also, all the troll comments from satanic atheists are getting banned. All the satanic gay atheist people accusing me of being a coward for deleting my video, I only had to delete them because of YouTubers' gay agenda. Instead of people getting upset at me, why don't they just let me be? Because they are heterophobic, anti-Christian pieces of shit. I don't want to participate in the anal sex the liberal people tell me to.
I don't believe him. I think this guy really wants anal sex, particularly with his dad back.
Well, the liberals are telling him to, Jackson. He doesn't want to participate, but they just keep shoving it down his throat. That's all they talk about.
That's all they ever talk about. You're right.
Oh my God.
Remember to stay strong in the faith of Christ who died for our sins. God loves you and love will prosper.
That all seems like love to me.
Not a whole lot, yeah, exactly.
And then it's praying hands emoji, cross emoji, and heart emoji.
This man probably was watching a movie with his dad one day and just had these really awful, intrusive thoughts of like, don't have anal sex with your dad. Don't have anal sex with your dad. And he needed a way to just, you know, cover that up. Sweep that under the rug. It's your fault, TV.
He sounds like if Tariq Nasheed and Uncle Ruckus had a baby. Just so much self-hatred and hatred.
Well, he also called
atheists.
Ackman's mom too. That was the best part. Like after, so yeah, like after the whole thing, he like dicks. So like after like Ackman makes a video like responding to it, right? Like the next stage of the YouTube drama is like, all right, let me look through public records, find the mom's phone number, and fucking call her up. So
what the fuck? Is she in the yellow pages as like Ackman's mom? How did he have to go through every single name?
I literally, I have to imagine that's how it worked. Like he was calling up, it's like, hello, did I have beef with your son on YouTube? No, okay, bye, sorry. Let me call the next one. It was like some fucking insane telemarketing op that no one has ever seen. But
what did he call her for?
Well, because he wanted to discuss how evil his son was and fucking.
Oh my God, he's actually. I'm telling your mom on you.
He tattled.
He wanted to warn her that
I know, dude,
Ackman's having anal sex with his dad.
Yeah, he fucking.
She should know that.
She needs to know. Do you know your husband's cheating on you with your son?
Ma'am, I don't want to alarm you, but what kind of television do you own?
Well, I find it so funny. You know, when we earlier were just talking about like this drama and stuff, right? Like in these smaller communities and shit. It's funny to me how like TV circles have drama. Like TV review circles have beef between each other. Like there's an actual community of TV reviewers that are just fucking, they're not having it, you know?
And not about what you would think either. Like not about.
Yeah, like they're about gay sex and anal liberal agenda. You're right.
What's that got to do with TVs?
Like a TV, they're just a backdrop, you know. Like I thought I was gonna come across the Sony boys fighting against the fucking LG TV OLED gang or something, like some insane shit. But like, so the further I dug into this, right? Because I do kind of want to make a follow-up video on it, just like, you know, when the dust has settled, because it is really wild. So I believe this guy was ban evading, right? And I have a pretty good suspicion that he was ban evading on YouTube. Like, he had a channel where, like, he really talked about the gay liberal agenda. Like, he was like, hey guys, let me review Spider-Man on like on this OLED TV. But let's talk about gay Spider-Man for a second and why that's wrong. So he had like another channel, I believe, like Quantum Apoptosis or something. And the only reason I know about this was there's another beef with this 500 sub channel where they were arguing about who's like apparently like they were calling each other pedophiles over a television review. I'm like, wait. No, like really, like I had to go into it. I'm like, wait, what?
Guys,
like, what
Do you think the TV manufacturers ever hear about these debates? Like Samsung has to have an all-hands meeting because 2 TV reviewers are calling each other pedophiles?
Well, no, they're slamming their hands on the desk. Gentlemen, our TV is making people gay. What are we doing about this?
Turn off the gay setting now.
There's
Is it just like that black and white spiral that hypnotizes you? It's just hypnosis.
Yeah, it's in the settings. You go under contrast, you go past brightness and gayness. It's just there.
Yeah, I have to
guys,
imagine it's like a hidden setting on the TV. Well, they all have to like.
No one tell him there's also a black Spider-Man now. He's gonna be really mad.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, Quantum won't be having that.
Quantum's like, no. Quantum's probably the one guy. Quantum, like, it feels like every time he's talking about like black people, I feel like he watches the Rodney King tape again, and he's like, you know, this was a simpler time in America, a better time.
I feel sad for him. It sounds like he has so much self-hatred and so many like. So much doubt within him.
I do too. Like, and it's funny because like the race card gets played so much on this entire thing. Like, dude will like dig out a first off, like his comment section is policed harder than fucking like the Chinese government. Like, like you'll have like a video with like 400,000 views on it, but like 4 comments, and all of them are like, "Wow, awesome TV settings, man! You really showed it to those gay libtards. Congratulations! Now my TV looks better than ever."
Okay, so it's an alt account of his then.
Yeah,
definitely.
I guess.
You can tell it's him if it ever brings up anal sex or gayness.
Yeah, if it's anything anal or whatever, it's definitely that. But I find it so weird. Like, there's a whole community, and I feel like it's just competitiveness between the HD channels, because a lot of them do like these sub trains on their channels, right? Like, you sub to our channel, we'll give you exclusive videos to show you how to calibrate your Samsung television. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, is there really a market where like some dude has to pay $5 to be taught how to change the fucking color settings on their television? Like, I thought this was something we just used to do. Like, holy fuck.
Oh, dude, there's a whole market on trying to sell people useless services and useless like repairs. Fucking Amazon does it. You can buy a like $15 cable from Amazon and they'll be like, you should also sign up for our pro service installation. We'll set it all up for you. And it's $139 for a $15 fucking like HDMI cable.
I like when they try to sell you like a 2-year warranty on a fucking cable. It's like, it's fine, even if it breaks.
That'll come in handy.
They try to sell you a fucking like $30 warranty on something you paid like $10
Warranties
for.
Is so
it's
fucking
insane.
bullshit. Every warranty I've ever paid for has made me feel like an idiot immediately, and after the fact that I forget that I even had the warranty. So the thing will break and I forget that I paid for warranty, so it's useless.
Well,
it's always useless.
the only time warranty ever did anything for me in my life was I bought a graphic card recently that was fucking bum. Like, and the one time I was like, sure, I'll pay you like $300 for the warranty. They fucking gave it to me. That was like after a week.
Oh, that's
like,
nice.
So I knew that I had the warranty, but that's the only thing. This is why, like, every time I go to a store and they always pester you about that shit. You're not even joking. Like, you buy a game from GameStop.
Absolutely.
Like I buy some stupid ass piece of shit. Like, I want to make fun of it. Like, fucking, you know, some crappy game. And they're like, you want to like, you want to make sure this is, taken care of. What if you lost this pile of gem? What if you lost this? I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. And they pester you so hard. It's like, when you go to
I don't know,
fucking...
man. The GameStop one, actually not terrible. When Modern Warfare 2 came out, I was so hyped for the game and so like out of my mind. I was like, yes, I'll pay the $5 protection fee, please.
No scratches.
About 3 weeks later, I was playing it at my girlfriend's house, and she walked by, and like she was moving, so shit was kind of just strewn around, and she kicked my Xbox, and it scratched the game to holy hell. And I went to GameStop.
Did you break up immediately?
Well, yeah, there was some slapping involved, but I went to GameStop, and I went, hey, here's my receipt, here's my game. They swapped it out. Just no questions. I don't know,
man. Are you
man.
excited about that new Modern Warfare, though?
I am.
Oh, yeah.
New one that's coming. I know.
I am.
actually am.
I am. Modern Warfare
We like the
2019.
original.
Dude, Modern Warfare 2019 was the first Call of Duty in like 9 years that I gave a shit about, and it's both Call of Duties that came out after it have been garbage. That was the only one that was just
I remember
super
when
good.
we all played
I'm ready.
fucking Black Ops Cold War, and we were just like, "This is such a fucking pile of ass."
Felt
Was
like
that the most
yucky.
recent one?
No,
Not
the recent
Vanguard.
one is Vanguard. It's even more forgettable.
It's super. Oh, they're just fucking gross. But Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare, the reboot was really good. So I'm actually optimistic for the sequel. I'm excited.
Well, they took a year off, which I'm really glad that they did, because it's like, oh, now you can actually develop the game a little bit more.
Yeah, make something
You know?
worth buying.
Yeah, it's a 3-year dev cycle then, right? That's pretty decent.
It's
for
like the
AAA.
Assassin's Creed stuff, man. Like they had Assassin's Creed Origin, which was really good, and then they started releasing them fucking yearly again, or like semi-yearly, and then now they're just like, hey guys, here's like super mega country-sized open worlds with the same fucking mission over and over again. Enjoy
Yeah,
that.
oh man, it's exhausting. I can't believe how long. Like I 100%ed. What was the first one? Origins and Odyssey. 100% of both of them. I couldn't make it past like 3 hours of Valhalla because I was getting like PTSD, and I was not spending another 90 hours in Assassin's Creed. Fuck that game.
Do you know, if I think about it, Valhalla actually saved my life, because that game was so shitty. This is during my appendix thing when it blew up. It was so shitty that I'm like, maybe I should just check into the hospital or something. This fever isn't going away. This game ain't getting any better. Let's fucking go. So maybe it did fucking save my life.
Man, you owe it to Ubisoft
Wow.
then.
I know, I do owe it to Ubisoft. They're the ones that made something so ass that I have to fucking check myself in to the emergency.
There's rumors that they're getting bought. Apparently, Ubisoft is getting
Who
bought.
the fuck would buy them? What are
Yeah.
they fucking making? What, like an Assassin's Creed game, some Far Cry shit? I don't even remember the last Ubisoft game I finished, man. They're all just devoid open worlds.
They used to be the kings
buying
too.
them?
They used to be so good.
Yeah, they used to be so good.
But then Far Cry 3 happened, and they came up with like a formula, and they just have not stopped with it.
And it
Yeah,
sucks
they're
too
like
because
open
Far Cry 3, especially for its time, was really good. But then
Very
they
good.
just
No, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good, but you know, you don't want to play the same good game over and over again because then it ruins it. And
But
they
then
ruined it by like Far Cry 5.
But then it's funny because they start downgrading the fuck out of them so hard. Like, I remember in Far Cry 2, you could like fucking you could use a flamethrower and like just burn a piece of grass, and like the entire field would just have like a fire.
Yeah, that was so cool.
And they
yeah.
nerfed the fuck out of it in like the newer games. Now it's like, now this new game that's out with like fucking tropical forests and shit, nothing sets on fire. Nothing. It's like,
it's all made
this
out of
is-
plastic.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to describe the phenomenon, but modern games, like the presentation on what they want you to see is better, but all the like little touches and details are missing. Like,
Well, it's like Splinter Cell, like way back, and you could just shoot every light out, right? And it was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, gameplay changing. Now you can't even shoot lights out in like most games. It's like, oh, they like flicker for a bit and then they're back. It's like
yeah.
no form of anything.
I'm
It's like,
fucking spoiled by Metal Gear Solid, man, where the fucking Wikipedia page on Easter eggs and details is longer than the like Wikipedia page for the game itself. Like, I really appreciate when games just think about things that a player might do and add in responses to it within the game, and most modern games just don't do that. They're just too railroaded.
you know, as
They just
much
don't.
shit as I give Shenmue, like I'll give Shenmue one thing, okay? You can interact with anything, and it
man.
really does add a lot to like, you know, just the fact that you're playing a video game, right? Like, hey, I'm exploring this world. Yes, I can open every fucking drawer. Yes, I do have to work a shitty 9 to 5 every day. But like, even when I compare it to like games recently, I just played through all of Halo Infinite, which is fucking, I don't even know how that game got the best reviews ever because I was bored out of my fucking mind. But I was playing Halo Infinite and I was like, you know, the AI in this game is like so fucking inferior to like Halo 2, Halo 3, where like, I just felt like when I was playing those Xbox 360 era video games, they put a lot more thought into like what made it, like really using that like platform for the time, right? Like they had an Xbox 360. It's like, we got this much hardware. Let's improve that, you know, AI programming. And even in games like Halo Reach, it still blows me away, like how these people would dynamically take cover and everything. And then when I fucking play you goddamn fucking Halo Infinite, it's like, oh, shooting gallery. It's like, it's even more fucking less, it's even more shooting gallery than like COD 4 single player. And I don't get it. It's like, oh, we have this mega open world that you can explore, but it's somehow less, like, if you ever played Halo Infinite, it's like one biome that you're flying around in. It's not even that big of an open world. It's boring as fuck.
It's not.
And then
it's so shallow as well. Yeah. For how it's the same 2 activities over and over again in the open world. Well, the open world was the worst thing to happen to Halo Infinite.
Because it's like you go to these same fucking areas and you blow up these like gas silos, or you shoot like the slightly stronger enemy VIP in the open world. And then it does that stupid ass thing that you can, like, I swear halfway into the game when I'm exploring and then I go into this one mission, then it just like locks you into the fucking finale of the game. And it's like, oh, okay, out of nowhere. And people are like, it's one of the longest Halo campaigns. Dude, I swear playing Halo 3 way shorter than this game's campaign, but I had way more fun. I saw way more. The story mattered more. Like,
length
what
never
the fuck
matters.
is this?
Length never matters. It's about your enjoyment of what you actually get at the end of the day.
It's the same Assassin's Creed argument, like Valhalla.
Again, 90 hours. I don't want to spend an hour in that 90-hour game.
I have never finished that game, yet I got so bored of that game that I ended up going out. I bought Assassin's Creed 2, like the little collection on PlayStation. I plugged that in, and I finished all those games, and half the time I put into Valhalla. And I was like, wow, story was way more cohesive. Game was way more better. Dude, Mass Effect...
wasn't padded out.
Mass Effect Trilogy, my most fucking played game of last year. I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's what I'm enjoying. Okay, Mass Effect, cool. And according to the chat, Valhalla is like the best-selling game. That's what sucks ass. Like, obviously, it's... I think the problem is, like, as the older we get, we grew up when, like, gaming was more concise and cohesive, and, like, I feel like because it was so niche...
It was definitely more creative.
Yeah, like, gaming when we were kids, it was a much more niche hobby, right? So, like, a lot of these developers had to find a way to separate their game from each other, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Even when we were kids.
For the attention.
Even when we were kids, when Call of Duty came out, right? And Battlefield came out, and Halo was out there, right? Like, these games all had to do their specific niche properly. Call of Duty was like 60 frames, fast-paced, kill streaks all over, like crazy multiplayer. Battlefield was like, hey, we've got these massive mega wars, vehicle combat, everything, jets flying around. Halo was like really cohesive, arena-based combat. And they all did their job super well. Now it's like, oh, every multiplayer game that comes out, it's like, oh, it's a free-to-play title that, like, they all play the same, right? Like, there is honestly no fundamental difference from playing any battle royale over the other battle royale, right? Like, fucking
gaming.
It's all this...
Yeah, gaming has become far too homogenized. Everyone just sees what works and just copy and paste that. Like, there's just so many games that come out now where very clearly they were a multiplayer game or a single player game, but then they have the other mode tacked on, and it's just, it sucks. Like, it's just not there. Like, why do you even have that? What's the point? Give you a great example. It goes with Call of Duty. As good as Modern Warfare 2019 was, and it was a very good game, single player was like, I mean, it's called single player. It was directed and fun, you know, had some fun moments. Multiplayer was excellent. The fucking co-op, my God, they threw it in there because people are like, oh, co-op is always, you know, in Call of Duty, like you have zombies and you have spec ops and you have this and that. So they just threw it in there, even though it was one of the worst fucking things I've ever played in my life. It barely functioned. There were only like 4 missions. The story was incomprehensible. It just didn't work. It wasn't fun, but they threw it in there because everyone was like, oh, Call of Duty has to have co-op. It's got to have that co-op element. And it's like, why? Just leave this out. Focus on Call of Duty always wants to be, at least from this point, a multiplayer game with a pretty well-developed single player attached to it. And that's fine. Halo does that too. There's plenty of series that get away with that. Like, the co-op for Call of Duty should have just been co-op campaign and just left it at that. But they had to throw in this terrible, terrible Spec Ops mode that no one even remembers.
They had some Nexon level multiplayer because it's like, okay, I remember playing the co-op mission for the first time. It was like, okay, so the enemy started off relatively okay, and all of a sudden the fucking terrorists in the game have like fucking super nukes and they're able to like fucking pinpoint headshot you from across the map. Like, all right, that seems fucking fun. Okay, quit that right there.
God.
No, you're right. But the other thing with the gaming nowadays, it's like, so when a game comes out, it's super early access, right? Like Halo Infinite's a good example. When we bought a Halo game back in the day, it was like, oh, we got the campaign day one, we got Firefight, or like some co-op component, Forge, Theater, and the entire multiplayer suite. Now when Halo Infinite launches, they do this shitty thing where it's like, oh, we're going to launch in beta, right? So the expectations have to be low. Nobody can complain. We're only going to give you like 6 multiplayer maps. And yes, 6 of them suck fucking ass. And yeah, you'll get the campaign later, but it's not going to be it's going to be this campaign that, yeah, we spent $500 billion on, but I don't know how. I don't know how we spent half of fucking
Dude,
500 million, not billion.
How did it cost that much? And it doesn't have a way to replay the missions. You have to start the game over again if you want to replay missions.
Do you know what it is? Because they want to keep this fucking dog shit running for 10 fucking
Kaya,
years.
Did you just hurt yourself?
What?
No, I said how.
Oh, I
said
thought
how. That
Kaya
wasn't him
just
saying
yelled
how.
in pain.
It's like if you have like 10 fucking years like of this game. Well, we're supposed to play Halo Infinite for a decade, guys.
Yeah, they said it was a live service.
Yeah, it's like, oh well,
It's fucking dead on arrival.
we're gonna add the multiplayer. Like we're gonna add like 2 maps every season, and they're fucking the new season
Each
sucks
season
ass.
is 6 months. Each season is 6
Yeah.
months as well. What are you doing? What are you doing with all your money?
Are they making the single player? Like, are we gonna get like a single player addition to the game? Maybe. But like the game single player sucks ass compared to the other Halo games. Why the fuck would I want to play it for the next 10 goddamn years?
They said... So with Halo has always had co-op at launch. Ever since Halo CE, it was like a defining feature of Halo, being able to play with your friends on the couch. Halo Infinite is like the first Halo that didn't launch with couch co-op, or any kind of co-op for that matter, in terms of campaign. When do you think that's coming? They promised after launch that it was coming with Season 2, and it's been delayed yet again to release sometime during Season 2. I don't understand what they're doing. I
feel like they're just burning money. Like it's literally just fucking idiots burning money.
I've said it so many times. 343 it's got to be the worst managed studio.
You know how fucked it is? Okay, imagine, all right? Like, we're at Xbox, right? I have to imagine there's like a fucking potluck for all the first-party developers that come together and they show fucking what they made, right? Like, you got fucking Coalition coming in and they're like, oh, we made Gears of War. Hey, it's, it works well. It's a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
Fucking Microsoft, the Flight Simulator guys come in and it's like, hey, shit, we just render the whole fucking world. Cool, right? Fucking...
Yeah, technologically innovative.
like fucking... And... Forza, they come in and it's like, holy shit, guys, we're killing it with a racing game. In fact, we might even be carrying the fucking Xbox on our back. And then fucking Microsoft 343 comes in and is like, hey guys, we worked less than Game Freak. Isn't that a fucking banger? We put less effort this year than Game
They came into this little fucking meeting with the Halo TV series on their back.
I don't know how fucking people can defend modern gaming when there's so many new iterations of series that are just trash. Fucking Gears of War, Pokemon, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Halo, Battlefield.
No. Listen,
No. It's not even that we're
shit.
getting old, because here's the thing. You have an established property. You have something that people already love, like Battlefield or Halo or Call of Duty. And you would think, oh, just take that formula and modernize it and it works. But then every iteration that comes out is just bad. All these games keep coming out in these already beloved franchises that are worse than their original predecessors.
It's not that we're getting old and bitter. It's like, just look at Battlefield, right? Like Battlefield 4 came out. We were like, oh shit, it might have been rough at launch, but hey, the core game is there, right? Like the multiplayer's there and we can make a successful thing out of it. Dude,
Yeah.
Battlefield 2042 just fucking dropped months ago and that's still the same pile of asshole.
I think it's absolutely indicative to modern gaming trends. It's not us getting old at all. So Battlefield's a perfect example. Battlefield 4 comes out. Everyone's like, holy shit, this is peak Battlefield. This is the best. Battlefield 1 comes out. Everyone's like, this is different, but this is still also amazing. I think Battlefield 1 is the highest selling Battlefield of all time, even though most people are like, yeah, like Battlefield hardcore people are like, yeah, it's good. It's not the best. But it's like, everyone's like, holy shit, this is different. World War I, this is awesome. Battlefield 5 comes out. Pretty rough, pretty not great, but by the time it really gets into its own, people love it. It's currently the highest played Battlefield, and like people really like it. They're like, okay, they fixed a lot of the issues. The maps are fun and good. It's visually amazing. It's a really solid Battlefield game. It's not the best one, but it's the most modern, whatever. When Battlefield 2042 is coming out, what does everyone say? Just make Battlefield 4, but modern. That's it. That's all you have to do. Take Battlefield 4, put it in modern graphics, give it a bigger player count or some quality of life balances that come in from modern games. That's all you have to do, and we will buy it, and it'll be a great game. But then, from leaks and documents and press releases and game design and all of that, what do they do? They literally try to copy Call of Duty and Overwatch. They try to make a hero shooter. They try to focus on a battle royale, and that is none of what their fan base wants at all.
The map sucks. We said the same thing when it dropped. We played it together the launch week before launch, and we were like, "Yeah, the maps are kind of ass because they're just open fields that you have to run for 5 fucking minutes before the battle actually starts."
And then they have the audacity to be like, "It's USA versus Russia. It's a big world conflict." When every single team is the same cast of 12 characters. It's embarrassing. God. And the whole point is you have an entire franchise that's now being run into the ground because rather than staying true to what they innovated on and what their fan base wants, they are trying to be a modern video game with all the trappings of a modern game. What is a modern shooter? Well, it's got to have heroes. Because Call of Duty and Overwatch and Apex Legends and every other big shooter has heroes. Valorant's got heroes. It's got to have heroes. So put the heroes even in there, even though it makes no sense lore-wise for a realistic-styled world war to have heroes in it. Well, what else does it have?
Did you say Overwatch then?
What?
Did you say Overwatch?
Overwatch has heroes.
Overwatch 2?
Oh, sorry. Overwatch 2 is a sequel. I mean, of course it's going to follow the same formula.
No. Are they just replacing Overwatch with Overwatch 2?
I don't even know anymore.
I didn't get into the
From what I understand, Overwatch 2 is literally just more maps and like
it should have just been
tweaks.
a big DLC. Yeah, but either way, the whole point is that games that are coming out now feel formulaic. Like a lot of games are just, the industry is so big and bloated that they know they have to check these boxes to fucking win people over instead of doing what their fans want. And it sucks. It just fucking sucks.
I think talking about video games has killed Kaya.
I think it is. It has been.
What's up, bro?
Kaya's on Truth Social posting about this right now.
He's like, Annie, it's about video games destroying.
We can talk about a good game, though. I beat Elden Ring last night.
Oh, dude, I platinumed that. Fucking
dude,
that is good.
That is an incredibly good game. It just never got old. It never got boring. It is incredible. I don't know how they maintained such a perfect pace from start to finish.
It's enjoyable.
It is such a fucking like breath of it's like it's exactly what I wanted. Like, because let's be honest, it's Dark Souls 4, right? Like, it's Dark Souls but properly open world, and it's like ever since they made that, it's like, man, when you're making Bloodborne, when you're making any other thing, you gotta get that. I would wait years before playing like next game, because like if it's the same quality, you have to keep it going. Like Elden Ring, just like people who complained about a difficulty in a Souls game before cannot complain about Souls like difficulty in Elden Ring, because there are so many ways for you to explore the world.
Elden Ring is the easiest Souls game.
Yeah,
it is the easiest one, like bar none, for sure.
I will also say though that it has like the highest difficulty ceiling as well, though, if your build isn't optimized for certain fights, you know, if you
can, yeah,
and there's also a lot of bullshit fights as well, and in my opinion, poorly designed fights as well, like any twin fight basically, like twin gargoyles.
I remember I fucking getting stuck on that for a week.
Nah, man, the twin fights were fine. I didn't have a problem with any of them.
Those were the one fights where I just summoned the Mimic Tier, and I was like, I'll just cheat too.
Total end game spoilers for Elden Ring if you're listening, by the way. It's been out for a while, but I'll just let you know. Either way, Malenia. Now that's a bullshit fight. Fuck her.
My god, shoot, dude! When I first went up against her, like, so I was like steamrolling it. Like, I was even enjoying the whole region you get into, and then every time she hit me, her health came back. I was like, "Fuck this fucking fight!"
The fact that if you are within a certain radius of her and she starts doing that waterfowl dance, you're just dead. Like, it doesn't matter what your stats are, what your build is. If you are too close to her and she jumps in the air for that giant attack, you are flat out dead. You will not outrun it. You will not dodge it. You are done. Like, that's it.
That was the first fucking game, like first fight in the entire game, where I was just like, after a while, when I beat her, I was just like, I screamed "fuck you" in my television and just fucking saved and quit. I was like, fuck that.
I was streaming the game for a friend who had already beaten it, so he was like checking out my reactions, and when I beat Malenia, I fucking stood up and just like a gorilla, I went, "Oh!" as loud as I fucking could. I felt such primal release after finally taking her down. It felt so good.
I was so fucking happy when it's the one fight, guys, where like she just heals on every hit.
Dude,
every fucking hit she heals you.
And I also did it no summons. I did the whole game no summons. So just like constantly having to do it on your own when God, what a fucking
When you
hassle.
have the nuclear option to like mimic to
I
your
know.
ass in.
I'm checking my fucking. I've got my mimic. I could call the mimic. I've got the fucking furl calling. I could call in someone to help me. Nope. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing no summons. And God, fucking hard bitch.
So the way that I did it was like when I fought her, I kept dying like 30, 40 fucking times, and then I just like went to that Mogwin's palace and I just grinded like to level 250. I'm like, all right, you bitch, you want to steal health? I'm just gonna make it so that I have like 99 vigor. Let's fucking go. So then
Jesus.
I took her on, and she's still like that waterfowl dance like.
It's just
still
gross.
Always, yeah, it's a gross go. Yeah, go ahead.
How far did you get, Kaya, in it?
I don't know. I played it like a week ago last time, and I was in some underground region, which was fun. I killed like a giant deer elk.
Oh,
yeah, the
well.
ancestral. Yeah, that's a really nice boss.
That was also
pretty
the
place.
one time where like, yeah, this is the one time where I was like playing that game, and it's just, you know, like I think graphics are good enough in video games. Like for me, like when I first went down that elevator and you look up and you see like the stars, I was like, man, this game is gorgeous, you know, like this
That's
is
called
world.
art direction, Mudahar.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You will never
great.
believe this, and most people argue against me on it, but art direction is infinitely more important in games than graphics. And people
always has
don't
been.
realize like how important of a factor that plays, even when you're making just a fucking run-of-the-mill like graphic thing like Call of Duty. You can make it look so much better by instead of not just trying to tackle perfectly photorealistic.
That translates over to everything, by the way, including movies. Mm-hmm.
Did you guys watch that Morbius movie?
No, but I kind of wanna.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
It's
It looks
tough
so
'cause
awful.
The fucking seats are all like sold out lately, so it's pretty tough to watch it. I want to go see it too. I want to go to the theater. Actually, we should all like do one thing where we watch Morbius sometime, you know, in the next 2 weeks, and we don't have to have a call like this. We can just, you know, be in a group chat. We can have a therapy session about how fucking great this movie was.
So I've only
we
heard
do movie
whisperings.
nights.
I've only
You're
heard
more
whisperings
than
of
welcome
this.
to join.
What is Morbius about? Like, what is it? It's Jared Leto, right?
It's about Jared Leto. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
It's
about
just
him.
Jared Leto, dude.
Well, the whole story, Andrew,
They
the
just filmed
entire
the night
story.
for him.
I hate when movies do this too, but when they spoil the entire story in the trailer. So I guess Morbius, Jared Leto, is a doctor. He travels to a cave somewhere, probably in Nepal, which is always the fucking location for some reason to find ancient tombs. He gets infected with the vampire curse or something, and then he's a vampire and he's edgy and he's going around trying not to kill the good people while killing the bad people.
So basically,
That's it.
fucking Twilight for scene kids.
Yeah, it's like a vampire curse, like a werewolf curse, but with vampires, I guess. And
So
he has
why is it-
echolocation.
Why is it so like everywhere? Is it just really bad or what?
People just
Yeah, it's just
turned it
bad.
into a meme
It's
because it's just so
bad.
embarrassing. Yeah.
I think the only reason the movie got made was because Sony needed to hold on to rights, so they were just like, let's just dig into what's that janitor in the Spider-Man comics? Yeah, let's make a whole movie about that guy.
They're desperate.
That's what they were going for.
They're trying to hold on to the hype with the Spider-Man movies that they've.
Oh,
well,
wait, this is Spider-Man
they didn't
related?
make them.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yes,
What?
It's in the Sony Spider-Man universe, yes.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Are you
Yes,
serious?
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I had no
Yes, it
goddamn
is.
idea.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to hold on to some fucking rights, bro. It wasn't.
Wait,
like,
have you never heard of Morbius before, Andrew?
Not from
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Oh, you're
never
right.
heard about the vampire
never
in the
heard of him.
Spider-Man universe?
Holy shit, it is. It's in the Sony Spider-Man universe, or the SSU for short. I've never heard that. Oh my god, I didn't know this.
So like, I
SCU,
only go
they're
to the
so
theater
desperate.
to watch movies like I only go to the theater to watch movies that really go on my radar. Like if it's Fast and the Furious, I'm always there. I don't give a fuck. I'm always the first one in line. IMAX that shit.
My man.
No fucks given. But like this stuff, I was like, man, you know, it's Ramadan. I don't want to do
Oh.
something unholy and watch this. I don't know.
Dude.
Maybe I'll hold off on doing it.
Wow. Okay, now that I'm looking at Morbius from the comic books, I recognize him. I knew who that was. I'd forgotten his name. I in no way made the connection that this was this guy from the comic books. I thought Jared Leto just was in this weird fucking out of nowhere movie called Morbius.
No,
Holy
no, this.
fuck.
So I knew about Morbius like the moment, like, because I think I had went in to see, was it the Batman? I don't know if it was the Batman. It was like something, but like, no, it was before the Batman. It was Spider-Man, like the last Spider-Man movie that came out, and this was in like the fucking like preview theaters, right? Like I got to the theater a little too early, and I saw this shit, and I was like kind of laughing my ass off. I'm like, there's no way this movie's gonna take off, and it took off in the worst fucking ways. Let me tell you. Because like it was like a one movie,
So
like
lame.
okay, so like let me tell you how bad this was. Okay, this movie was so ass that like after it they played that fucking ambulance movie trailer by like Michael Bay, and I'm like, oh man, if I had to pick one, like if I had to pick one or the other, it's gonna have to be Michael Bay this time, man. Fuck, I'd rather see special effects for an hour and a half than fucking vampires.
For Michael Bay's flaws, he does know how to shoot special effects. He does a pretty decent job with that.
And he admits it. Michael Bay has stated in numerous interviews, he's like, yeah, my movies are just like fun trash. I don't care. He's like, yeah, I make big, dumb, loud, exploding movies.
He started off as like a commercial director.
Yeah.
Or music video shooter.
I respect him a lot more after I found that out. He will openly admit, yeah, my movies are like just garbage, but they're fun, so who cares?
Just explosions.
No, like as much shit as we give
that.
Morbius, as much shit as we give it, it is actually the 8th highest grossing film of 2022. Yeah. So obviously people went to go watch it. Like,
I thought it bombed.
How many people do you think are like me though, where they don't even know it's a Marvel movie?
Okay, but then that makes you worse, because then you're like, I'm gonna go watch fucking Morbius. Like,
I never said I'd watch it. Hang on. I never said I'd watch this
Jesus
piece of
Christ,
shit.
Andrew. No, you love Morbius. You could have shut up about Morbius.
I'm Morbius' biggest fan. Got posters.
Without knowing who he is.
When I
Got a
saw
cardboard
the poster,
cutout of him.
So when I was driving past the Cineplex, like fucking just looking at the Morbius poster, I'm like, there's no way that shit's real. And then I'm like, dude, why does Jared Leto just say yes to everything? Like, is there some blackmail? Like, was he like a Scientologist or something?
No, he's
like,
just bad. He sucks, dude.
I'm watching the new Blade Runner movie and he shows up. I'm like, oh man, this fucking asshole once again. God damn it. Well,
it's kind of like it's like. He is like a parasite in my brain because even if he is like in a good role, even if he is in a good role, I just hate seeing him on the screen. I'm like, I hate you. I hate you so much that you're ruining this movie for me, even if you're arguably doing a good job. You know, I hate you. I hate Jared Leto.
He's in so many like good movies, right? So it's like obviously he's gonna have a fucking career, but like Jesus Christ, get off the screen, bro. I don't want to see it anymore. Like, I think what ruined it was like, so I watched the Justice League movie with a couple friends, right? And like, speaking of bad fucking movies, like, that wasn't awful. So like I don't even remember anything out of that movie except that like Batman was like, Ben Affleck had his ass kicked and he was on the ground like fucking twitching around like some fucking SpongeBob cartoon. That movie made no, like, it was like the Justice League. It's like if the Avengers, like, hey, everyone is like the fucking like, it's like the Tard Avengers, and then like Superman comes in to like fucking clean up the day every once in a while. I was like, dude, and then I was like, wait, this isn't the good one, because then the good one was like, you should watch that Zack Snyder cut, and I was like, how long is this? 4 hours? Fuck that! I'm not watching a 4 hour cut.
No. Hang on. We can't bring the Snyder cut in here.
I'm not watching it, Andrew.
We can't bring the Snyder cut in here and besmirch its name. The Snyder cut is excellent. It is such a good movie. Here
we go again.
No.
Go watch it.
No.
It's so good.
Is it like
you're trying to trick us,
or like is it Andrew good?
No, it's good. It's actually good. Okay, you know how the first Avengers movie is like a paint by numbers kind of uninspired schlocky mess, right?
That's all of them.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, but so fucking Justice League, the Snyder cut is that, but with heart and soul.
I don't care about heart if it's got Jared Leto in it.
He's barely in it. Well, no, he is in it, but barely.
Dude, it's a 4 hour fucking movie.
When he's not in it, he's barely in it. He's in it.
To be fair, he is in it, but he's at the very end and he's barely in it.
So he's gonna sour the end for me. I spent 4 hours drinking water with Jared Leto. Fuck you.
And it's still 4 hours of awful CG.
Like, yeah, you have to watch like 3.5 hours of the fucking movie, and then like fucking this dude shows up.
I don't know. I don't know how hard I can defend this opinion, but I had no real major complaints with the Snyder cut. Like, yeah, I had problems with it, but overall, I thought it was a genuinely fantastic movie.
You know what they should do for the new
all that
Flash
matters.
movie?
I loved it.
You know what they should just do for the Flash movie that's coming out? They should just like fucking delete the whole thing and just replace it with the arrest tape for Ezra Miller.
That man is single-handedly trying to
lunatic.
fight
What is
every
wrong with
citizen
him?
of
He's a
Hawaii.
lunatic, dude.
When I saw that on the internet, I was like, oh, I'm not even surprised, man. This
So he
is
just-
like...
Tell us. So he
How
just
does these
he keeps
publicists let
getting
this happen?
high and beating people, right?
Yeah.
He thinks he's actually the Flash?
I think
he's
so. I
running
think
around
he
Hawaii.
actually thinks he's the...
What was the newest thing? He threw a chair at a woman's head.
What?
He was trying to save
That's
her.
the one. Yeah, you're right. That's the... Sorry,
Yeah.
there was like other fucking shit around him.
Why? This is sometimes what I don't get about like
He saw
famous and rich
Doomsday.
people.
He was aiming for Doomsday, or whatever the
He
guy's name
saw,
is. From...
he saw Apocalypse behind her and took aim.
Bro, you're like rich and famous, and you're in Hawaii. Like, why are you this angry? Just mellow the fuck out. Have a nice vacation. Why are you this amped
It's
up and
usually
this
drugs.
rageful?
Here's the post, boys. Shortly after 1 Hawaii Standard Time, Tuesday, April 19th, a 29-year-old visitor from Vermont, I don't know why that was so important for the story, was arrested for second-degree assault after an incident at a residence in Pahoa. During the course of their investigation, police determined that the individual, later identified as Ezra Miller, wait, he was from Vermont? Oh, no, then it makes sense why he'd assault somebody. What the fuck? Become irate after being asked to leave and reportedly threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old female on the forehead, resulting in an approximate half-inch cut. Police said that the woman refused treatment for her injury. And then last month, he was arrested for harassment and disorderly...
Why?
Okay, healthcare is a bitch, I guess. Harassment and disorderly...
She knew
Yeah,
that
she
if
knew it
she
was
like
caused by
took it
Ezra
up,
Miller.
she knew if she went to the government, then Superman would show up and like defend the Flash and kick her ass.
Yeah. Miller was arrested and charged with harassment and disorderly conduct at a karaoke bar. Dude, you know what kind, who the fuck gets arrested at a karaoke bar? Who? I swear, dude, 50-year-olds get arrested at a karaoke bar. Who the fuck gets busted at a karaoke bar?
Why are you in a bad mood at a karaoke bar? Go
That's
That's
somewhere
what I'm
else.
saying. Why are you in a
Yeah.
bad mood at all?
Yeah.
Again, you have all the money and fame, and you're in fucking Hawaii. What is
Wait,
wrong
what's this?
in this
Someone
scenario?
just leaked something in the the Patreon Discord chat. Ezra Miller choking fangirl. What is this?
What?
Is that real?
What the fuck? That could be deep faked, who knows? Oh shit.
Oh,
my
wait, he
God.
just slammed her
oh
on the
my
ground?
god. What the fuck?
What is wrong with him?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Dude,
She wasn't even like-
that doesn't look like the Justice League hero to me.
Why was she hitting a dab before he attacked her?
What the fuck?
What is going on?
She was
have
like
you
doing a
guys-
little shuffle dance or something. I don't know, but
Do you want to know what put him in a bad mood at the karaoke bar?
he's like,
According to-
he walks up to her and he says, "Do you want to fight?" and then chokes her to the ground. It's like, what does Ezra Miller have a problem with women? It seems to be also he specifically just like goes around beating women.
Well, according to the police, the actor grabbed the microphone from a woman singing and lunged at a man playing darts after becoming aggravated by the rendition of Shallow from the film A Star is Born. He got mad over the fact that somebody's saying shitty at a karaoke bar. Holy fuck, man.
Maybe Ezra Miller's over there on purpose, though. Maybe Ezra's rage cannot be contained, so the U.S. government is locking him down in Hawaii.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Is he
But it's
method
just like-
acting or something?
Okay, fine. If he was method acting, then the Flash would have to be a fucking total degenerate. Like, is the Flash going to be assaulting somebody at a karaoke bar in this new movie? Is that why it's taking them a long time? 'Cause he's
I
been
like the
caught doing this
juxtaposition
shit?
too, because in the movies he plays this like wholesome nerd. It's basically just Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, and in reality, he's like doing lines of coke and beating the fuck out of karaoke patrons. Well, what if this is all a result of him doing speed or something? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah,
Trying
or
to go
Jenkem.
fast by doing drugs.
Maybe it's Jenkem. Maybe this is the proof for Jenkem. Maybe this is like Ezra Miller actually like proving that it's real, and this is maybe he was hallucinating some wild ass shit. That's what brought us full circle.
His next movie role was going to be like Dallas Buyers Club, but like a Jenker drug addict, and so he's just method acting. He's gonna get all skinny and stuff.
They're gonna
get like anorexia.
No, like in the Flash movie, it's gonna be like Popeye, right? Like instead of eating spinach, he just like opens a jar of shit and just like
Squeezes it into his mouth. He squeezes the jar and it like makes a big arc in the air. It lands in his mouth. And then he beats women.
That's what makes him that's what makes him
Just
go
like
even
Popeye.
faster. Oh my god. Fucking
Okay, I had one topic I wanted to talk about. So speaking of people addicted to shit, and Muda brought up people who get 0 viewers on Twitch. Boogie has apparently agreed to fight Sam
Andrew.
Hyde. Wait. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
Oh yeah, it was Andrew.
But Jackson, your favorite person on the internet, Boogie, has apparently agreed to fight Sam Hyde, who has, I think,
don't
at
know who
least
Sam
a
Hyde
foot
is.
on him.
Are you a Boogie
He's just a
fan,
troll.
Jackson?
Sam Hyde has like 20 confirmed kills. Like, that's not a fight. That's a massacre.
Yeah.
So, Muda, I don't know how like attached you are to Boogie's history. If you've been keeping up with him.
I've kept up with the history, yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I am a fan in the sense that you would probably think I'm a fan then, in that I very much enjoy watching his lunacy or his downfall, I guess you could call it. He's wild. There's a picture of him with a plastic foot in his mouth, and that is just the perfect image for
It's
him.
not
because
plastic.
He
That
it
was
could be
the
real.
escort
Yeah,
headline.
no,
That's
you're
a
right,
real
that-
woman.
Yeah. Allegedly. He constantly puts his foot in his mouth, and I love being on the scene whenever that happens. It's so much fun.
Well, do you guys
But-
think that this fight's gonna happen though? Because I have to imagine like you have to get checked by a doctor. Like if he does this fight, he has to lose weight in order to get to that weight class, right? Like to reach Sam Hyde. So this might be the
Well, I
one
think you
kick in
can-
the ass.
I mean, it's not like they're part of an official league or something, but the thing is, like, Sam Hyde is 6'3" or some shit, and basically been lifting weights his whole life, and Boogie gets
Oh, yeah,
wreck-faced
further
in the
than
wind
that,
at
he's a boxing
talking.
enthusiast. Sam Hyde practices boxing like every so often. Like this will not be. I don't care how much time Boogie gets to train. I don't care how seriously he takes this. If this fight actually happens, Sam Hyde will fuck him up royally. It will not be close.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but that-
throw my hat in the ring as a Boogie expert. It's not gonna happen. I don't believe it'll happen.
I think what's gonna
he'll
happen
back
is
out
like
pretty
close
quickly.
to it. He's gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna be like fucking either medically he can't do it, or he's gonna be like, I'm a pacifist, so I'm not gonna go fight.
Yeah, the pacifist
Yeah.
route, or he'll say like
Pacifist
he'll figure out some way to like appear as the victim in all this somehow, and that's what will happen, and he won't do it.
One of the
Well, the
things that
thing
always
is-
weirds me out about it is like how open he is with just talking about like sugar daddy shit and everything. Like, okay, I'm gonna say this. Okay, I think a lot of YouTubers probably do coke and fuck hookers, right? I think a lot of people probably do that, right?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But
Nothing
don't
wrong
say
with
it
that.
out loud.
Nothing wrong with that. Like if you're somebody like if I had to record Roblox videos for kids, I'd be fucking 10 hookers and doing lines of fucking G Fuel and meth on my fucking like table in order to cope, right?
Yeah, just
'Cause-
to get through the work.
yeah, right? Like, there's only so many. Like, okay, listen, every time I play, like, a fucking Roblox game, it's whatever. But if I had to do that as a job, I'm doing coke and fucking hookers, no questions asked. Not even a
Boogie
choice.
doesn't-
Here's what I think.
Boogie doesn't do anything as a job, though.
Jackson's probably right. He's probably not gonna do it. But if it does happen, Sam Hyde is an entertainer. He understands that. I don't think he's actually gonna get in the ring and like one punch Boogie. He's probably gonna literally tie his hands behind his back and
I think
turn it into
Keemstar
a
is such a
fucking.
troll. I think Keemstar
Oh,
is such a
Keemstar is
troll,
also
man.
involved. I forgot.
Because here's what I think. I think what's gonna happen, and this would be fucking blown for the internet, is like, we all know it's Sam Hyde, right? Until the very last second, instead of Sam Hyde, Frank Hassel comes out. Yeah. Frank
That's
Hassel
gotta
comes
be
out,
it, yeah.
2 revolvers in his hand, shooting up in the air.
Now's payback.
That'd be amazing.
Like Yosemite
Now
Sam.
you come to my house, Boogie.
He plays like a wrestler intro, and everyone's reacting. They're like, "Bog on! It's Frank Hassel! Bog on!"
It'll have to be something like that because otherwise this will not be entertaining. Like you guys said, it's Boogie again. He looks like he's about to have a stroke just talking on his couch. Like he's not
Yeah, I
gonna
don't want.
be able to fight
I don't
anyone.
want to tune in. I'm gonna be so. If it does happen, I'm gonna be so disappointed if I tune in and it's just this like little staged publicity stunt for Boogie. Like he gets to smack Sam Hyde's cheek or something, and then Sam Hyde takes a knee or whatever, and flops around on the mat for a bit. I don't want to watch
Does a
that.
backflip like in the movies.
Fucking pissed on that. Like you say, it's the thing with Boogie is like he's very open about it, and I think he thinks it's like a positive, but it's like I just don't understand. Like, it's not the optic that you want to have, right? Like, fucking everyone's a little different behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But it's like,
Oh, what, you mean being cringe? Yeah.
well, I mean, like,
Cringe on main.
I was looking at one of his channel recently, and it was like one of the videos that popped up was I tried being a sugar daddy, and I was like, dude, why would you even jump into that? Like, what the fuck? Like, it just, I don't even understand why. Like, yeah, I basically partook in prostitution. Like, what? Like, what is it? What does that even aim
Well,
at?
not even prostitution, right? You just paid for someone's company. That's even sadder.
You just paid in a roundabout way for sex and a friend. Like,
well, not sex. Is sugar daddy like a sexual thing?
I mean, it
it can be.
It can be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it
it's
can
mostly
be. I mean,
like
it's literally
fucking-
just prostitution. And I think he really wants to be the cool, like, pimp. He really seems to like
Yeah, he
the
does.
persona of being a pimp.
The way that he talks
He's been
about
trying
his
to-
exploits and shit, he definitely has that air of, I want to, like, show how good I am with women, how cool I am with this, and, oh, here's my
And
fucking
own them and
chick.
shit.
Well, you guys saw his original sugar. What is it? Sugar daddy. Like, he was on a website.
Yeah.
He was on a sugar daddy website. You saw his profile, right? It was all. He was making himself out to be like super cool. Like, all of his pictures and stuff were with like Jeff Keighley, and yeah, he was saying how rich he is and how popular and such. That he is. So yeah,
It's like when a YouTuber shows their play button in a fucking Tinder profile. Driest fucking vaginas imaginable. No one's gonna do it. No one's going to jump into it. I mean, look, I wish the best for Boogie, obviously, like in any situation, but it's like, change isn't going to happen unless the guy wants to do it. It's like, all of it just comes out to be like a victim complex, Sometimes, like, the advice that you get is so, like, bare bones. Like, what am I going to get by looking at what am I going to get by the sugar daddy video? Hey, guys, don't buy hookers, okay? It's a stupid idea to do. It's a lot of money that I probably didn't have that I was burning away. Like, why? What the fuck?
I feel like Kaya's right. Kaya has a pretty good theory for this, and I am slowly starting to believe him. So Kaya, what is it?
He has a humiliation fetish. I mean, it's thoroughly in the open. I mean, the man, he says things that are designed for him to get dunked on. Every single time he knows what he's doing, in my opinion. Every single time he tweets something retarded and then walks it back. It's like, that's his masturbatory ritual at this point. I believe firmly, every time he tweets, he has like a half chub. And then he starts touching himself when people dunk on him.
That's a double-edged sword, though, because if he ever admits to it, it's over. When people know he's doing it on purpose, then the humiliation leaves.
Where I think recently he was floating the idea of making an OnlyFans for his girlfriend, quote-unquote girlfriend or something.
Well, she wanted to make one. He was just going to promote it, I think.
Yeah, and then he's like, don't worry, you guys, I won't be in it. It's like, why are you humiliating yourself so much? This is embarrassing.
But his girlfriend situation is a weird one because he said before that he didn't want, they didn't want to make her public because they didn't want to, expose her or the fan base to her, like doxing and harassment and stuff like that, which fair enough. But then a month later, he's posting pictures of her feet in his mouth and talking about how he's going to make her an OnlyFans and stuff. That's like a very extreme difference to what you originally said.
It's like, mark my fucking words. This is going to devolve, and I told Jax, this is going to devolve into him going, we're thinking about inviting fans from Reddit to fly over and fuck her for the OnlyFans. Don't worry, you guys. I still won't be in him. I'll just watch.
We're not going to
just watch.
No, I kind of.
He will, and this is also the reason that I think maybe he will go through with the boxing event, because he just strikes me as the kind of person who would like to get his ass kicked in public and just be completely put down and humiliated.
He absolutely would, because then he would be the victim again.
True.
He would. Man, that whole just side of the internet, man. Like, it's him, and then every time I think of Boogie, I always think of that McJuggernuggets guy, and then it always fucking throws me down another rabbit hole with, like, story. It's just, I don't know, it's a side of, like, the internet that just took themselves way too seriously, don't know how to, like, some people should just not be famous on the internet, is all I'm saying, okay? Some people are just they're fucking discovered lolcows. You know what I mean? Like, if I post cringe, I'll admit it, I post cringe and move on, but I'm not going to upload a video where I'm like, anyways, guys, about my fixation on anal fun with hookers. So why you shouldn't participate in that? I think it's wrong. Like, monetarily, I was spending a lot of money on it, and it really isn't good for my mental health. Like, what the fuck?
Why do you need to make all of this your audience's business? Why do you have to live so much of your life online?
Because they want to be
It's painful.
real, bro. And I hate that attitude too. Every single time when they start these stories that they tell, it's like, I want to be honest with you guys. I want to be real. I'm not one of those fake YouTubers. Like, bro, sometimes it's okay to be a little fake. Like, you can have embarrassing secrets. We all do. You don't have to publicize them.
Yeah, like, fucking, dude, I watch too much unhealthy amounts of Chris Chan documentaries, okay? That's my fucking embarrassing thing, but whatever, cool. Like, shit, we've all done dumb stuff, but, like, Christ.
We all have a lolcow that we get invested in. There's always
Like to
one
keep up
whose story is fascinating enough that you want to fall into it.
For me, it's the Acer Thorn thing recently. I don't know if you've been following it, but that dude sued the state of Texas for
Never heard of
$5
it.
trillion.
Wait, what?
What is it?
What'd you say?
So he sent $1 to Greg Abbott or something, and it was like fucking, he had like some arbitration thing. It was like, if Greg Abbott or like the state of Texas doesn't send me back my $1, you all owe me $5 trillion in arbitration. Like the most frivolous lawsuit shit. And yes, Chad, I have a Sonichu plate on my car. I do in fact have that. It's not a joke.
You take this stuff seriously.
I do. I take it
You
seriously. I was
Who's your lolcow, Andrew?
No, he's getting sued pretty hard, which not. No, he's suing everyone else, and it's just like some fucking dude who like, again, you know what it all came from? An Elden Ring review. He just fucking talked shit about Elden Ring. People made fun of him, and then the lawsuit started coming out. Literally, just like that. It's all that. It's just fucking. It's damning stupid shit.
Who's your lolcow, Andrew?
The only one I'd say I still check in every now and then is Wings of Redemption.
Wings of Redemption.
Yeah,
that's a
baby.
good one.
I just
And
Okay,
it's
someone just
only-
posted a video on him
It's
again.
only because I don't typically go for lolcows that are just weird or strange, because it's like, there's only so much. But Wings
It's
actively,
a long story.
It's a long, in-depth story with a lot of history, and he brings it on himself because at the end of the day, he treats his audience like shit. Like, if this was happening to this
He treats
guy,
himself like shit.
yeah, he treats himself like shit. He treats the audience like shit. He just asks them for money. He just like insults them. And it's like, if he made all these mistakes and then stopped doing this and tried to get better and people are still bullying him, I wouldn't be into it. But he is just still like trying to grift people out of money and just trying to like play the victim all the time. And like, oh boy, just
Shout out
Yeah.
to June the King. He did a good video recently on the continual fall of Wings of Redemption. I watched that. It was so interesting hearing what Wings has been up to these last 3 years. Highly recommend people watching that. And also, Frederick Knudsen did a video on him, right?
yeah, we had him on the
he
show.
did a video, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good video.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't
but
know what's gonna happen to Wings though. Too like he's gotta get like a lot of these people just gotta get off the internet, man. Like they gotta like take a sabbatical
Yeah,
for
you
a
really
little
do.
bit. And
We
just,
Well,
talked
see,
about
and
this.
that's their
It's all they know, though.
That's their
it's all they
fucking
know.
curse. Like, Wings is such a perfect example. He needs to get a real job because he's constantly complaining, oh, I got to pay my rent, or I got to afford this payment, or
Yeah,
get
but
this thing. But his brain says the only job he can get is streaming. That's not even remotely true. You can quit streaming, go get a real job. Go apply.
It's
Yeah,
all
hang
they
on.
know,
We
though.
talked about this literally like last week, I think, or the week before, remember? The problem is people also need to leave him alone because
Right.
he tried getting a
True.
real job and shit, and his trolls
yeah,
did their
yeah,
best to
like,
get him
yeah,
fired
that-
and
people
shit.
jump
It's
into
like,
it and
okay.
ruin it.
That's
for
the
him.
part I don't support. Yeah, that's the part I don't
That's
like.
evil.
Like
It's
like, no,
when
just
let this loser
when
disappear.
when they're actively abusing their audience or like playing victim, then yeah, it's funny. But if the audience is just bullying them after a certain point, then no, I don't go
Yeah,
for that.
You got to. If they're not like genuinely evil people, like Wings of Redemption hasn't diddled kids as far as I know. Or
Yeah.
hasn't, beaten any women or anything like that. Nothing like actually evil. He's just a lolcow. But like, if they haven't done anything like that, you have to let them leave
Yeah.
if they want to.
If
You have to let them leave
Wings-
the internet and go find their own
If
path
Wings
outside of what they're doing.
if Wings tomorrow, and he meant this from the bottom of his heart, was like, okay, I'm going to start trying to get my life together. I'm going to get a real job. I'm going to stop.
I'm leaving Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah, I'm quitting social media. I don't want to like interact with these fans anymore. And then, you know, if that all works out, I might come back in a few years and try again. I'd drop the whole thing. You know, I'd stop laughing at his stuff or looking at the content based around him, because that's fine. You know, he made mistakes. He was an asshole, but if he really tries to come back from it, then he should be allowed to. People should let him.
If you're a fan and you sabotage that and you try to go after his job that he gets or follow him after that, I think you're just as bad a person as he is, or you're just as cringy a person as he is.
That's one of the things that I have to think about with like Chris Chan. It's like, how much of that was ever like the internet constantly just on his ass, you know? Like, there was a lot of people who were trolling him. There was a lot of people that were really deep into his head, and like that one person that was in a call with him when it came out that he was like, she was fucking her mom. Yeah. It's like, you're just as guilty. What the fuck? Like, you're like partaking and like goading the guy. Like, okay, no, not just as guilty. Like, obviously, like Christine fucked their mom. Like, whatever. Okay, that's like bad right in of itself. But like, what the fuck are you doing on the phone listening to this whole story? And like, and then it came out later that this person's just as unhinged and everything. Like, what is going on? Like, at some point,
you're talking
so
about
much, like,
Jenkem, Isabella or whatever, who literally like
Isabella
talked him into
Jenkem.
it. Basically, this fucking retard person. Jackson, I have a question. What real-life job can you see Boogie doing if he decided to stop this?
Social media.
Well, he's
manager.
yeah, for Mountain Dew or something maybe. But no, like seriously, he's had jobs before, from what I know of his law. So it's definitely possible that he could work.
Well, isn't he like a multimillionaire because of crypto or some shit? That's what I was reading.
Well, yeah, that's what he says. I don't believe that, but
So
that's
he
what
claims,
he says.
but yeah, he's a pathological liar.
But he does he has worked at like a comic book store or a game shop or whatever.
He looks like a fucking
that makes
GameStop
sense.
employee. He would shill Funko Pops. Absolutely.
He could absolutely do a job like that.
Yeah.
Shelf punk
And
Funko Pops.
Yeah, that's what GameStop does now, man. Funko Pop distributors. Let's go.
No, there's a whole wall of Funko Pops on their ass.
We should wrap now because Andrew's hungry.
I'm very hungry.
I'm pretty tired.
Mudahar.
But before we go, before we go, because it's your birthday, or it's my birthday, it's someone's birthday.
All of our birthday. We talked about it. It's everyone's.
I was talking to Charlie before the episode, and I got him to record a little message to you, Muda. So I'm just gonna play it now.
Happy birthday, Mudahar. Sorry I can't be there, but I still love you.
I love you too.
Have fun with my friends.
We had plenty of fun. You think he ever conceived that we might just be talking about Jenkum for a little while?
He's gonna know it by now. He's gonna know what we're up to.
So, Muda, I gave you a pretty joke intro at the beginning of the show, but for the folks at home who don't know who you are, if you please want to shout out all your stuff, tell them who you are, what you do, that'd be great.
Well, my name is Mudahar, and I'm a jackass on the internet, and you don't want to be like me. But if you do want to see what I've been up to, I have a YouTube channel known as SomeOrdinaryGamers, where I upload absolute crap every single day, or I try to. If you want to partake in actually consuming Jenkem matter on YouTube, absolutely come and check out my channel. If not, and I totally understand, stay far, far and away. There it is.
That was perfect.
You got a new podcast now as well,
I
don't
do,
you?
yeah, the Some Ordinary Podcast. We launched
Yeah,
it.
so go check that out too.
Yeah,
if
If
you're
you
a podcast listener.
want some cross promotion, I was just on a recent episode, not to brag, you know.
Yes, he was.
If you're out
Good
there,
entry point.
you have folks at home listening to our show want to get enticed for that episode. We talk about Moonfall for half of it. So.
Oh my god, yeah, we called up the Lexus dealership and they were excited.
Oh, they were really
We
hyped. They were so happy.
Oh yeah, because they're advertising the movie, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think we
awesome.
convinced a Lexus dealership to buy a Lexus dealership.
That's
All
awesome.
right, let's wrap it
All
up.
right. Yeah, everyone go check out Muda. Give him some love. He's one of our favorite guests, one of our best friends as well. Just a great
guys.
podcast friend. So go check him out. And if you're so inclined, if you liked what you saw and you like the show and want to support it, head on over to patreon.com/theofficialpodcast. We got bonus content, early episodes. Kai and I are watching the Halo TV show for your pleasure and our misery. So you can go check that out. We're on episode 5, I believe it's up. Episode 5 is up now, and we'll be releasing episode 6 sometime this week. Yeah, that's all from us. Remember to rate us on Spotify
Thumbs
or
up.
iTunes or whatever your
Update.
audio platform you're watching. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.